Jake and Joe back in action. Yeah, the spotlight's gleaming. Talking magic cards, our eyes are red and spins are beaming. Dial us up. It's the best and worst year's review. MTG's highs and lows. That's what we're discussing with you. Unveiling dollar deals hidden like a genie. Variant cards that shine worth more than a little penny. Chatting and laughing with our community. We're convening. Jake and Joe, are you rapping again? Are you rapping again? Hello?
Actually, do they hear us yet?
Hello?
Oh, hi. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the day.
Are we at 69 likes? Can we start this stream?
I liked your sick bars tonight.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
Gotta have some sick bars for the people, you know?
You had some good bars this evening.
That's right.
I did some Googling of how I should respond in moments like this, and one of the things that came up is say there were some good bars that were said. And
nice.
So you had some good bars out there.
Thank you. That's
You're
good
welcome.
advice. Was that like a Quora article?
It was a Quora article. I was like, hey, my friend is getting into rapping on streams. How do I approach? And they were like, just say that there's some dope and sick bars. And so I was like, well, we'll start right there. There we go. You know, that's gonna be where we begin.
I can't help it. The community gave me my rap name, Jakey Joe.
I know.
So I feel like I gotta live up to the title.
It's believe me, it's something, you know, I'm fully aware of. I'm fully immersed
it's
in
permeating
living in
the culture.
Yeah, the Jakey Joe thing is definitely something that it's one of the things that exist in the world.
It is one of the things. It is one of the things of all time.
One of the things of all time that I should have, you know, I opened Pandora's box when I was like, yeah, sometimes I look at our YouTube name and I go, yeah, Jakey Joel are magic. But you put the accent on it and you took it to an entirely different realm.
I
can't even fathom.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I want all of the credit and none of the blame.
You want all of the got it. We need two guys on this. That's what she said. There's no time, but it's what she said. There's no time.
Yo, check this out, dude.
Bobby Zeus is 5 months away from a Clerks reference.
We're shooting that later. Yo, check these out. We got some new cards. This was from Clue or from Murders at Karlov's Manor.
Ooh.
Lots of new stuff to go through. I'm just kind of glancing through right now. I just want to look at treatments. We're going to, review all of these cards.
Whoa. Exile target creature for one white, one other.
Pretty good.
Typically, when you get a spell like that, they end up putting 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. This is a massive upgrade.
Huge.
That's a really good instant.
I'm liking at the beginning of your upkeep, investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. Seems like a decent way to
makes Academy Manufactor look so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, dude. Every card that's printed makes Academy Manufactor better. Look, what about demand answers, Jake? This is so up your alley, it's unbelievable. They said, hey, we heard you like Thrill of Possibility.
Okay, is this the one that you sent me?
Yeah, additional cost. You can either sack an artifact or discard a card. So you can pitch a food, and for 1 red, 1 other at instant speed, pitch a food, draw 2 cards.
Bro, I was running Thrill of Possibility already in that sacrifice deck, and so the fact that it could be a food instead of having to pitch a card is massive. And then this also, it plays well alongside blood tokens, which is notable.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
That is true. Lightning Helix going to be back in standard.
What?
Yeah.
Is standard really at that point that Lightning Helix
dude.
is like
Past it.
because of power creep? Lightning Helix is fair.
We're past it.
Wow.
Check out the new Aurelia. I'm kind of liking the new Aurelia. 5 mana 4/4 flying Vigi haste. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, draw a card. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, a player. By the way, it says a player twice. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, Aurelia the law above deals 3 damage to each of your opponents, and you gain 3 life. Yeah, it's funny how when you switch the 2 words, you get a completely different meaning. I actually want to run Aurelia above the law as like a Punisher, like a Boros. Add black in, make Aurelia a Mardu character, and she's like the Punisher. She just kills bad guys now.
Bro, this is good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, kind of interesting looking Boros commander. Really what I want to do is figure out a way to give my opponents creature tokens as much as possible, and then figure out a way to like pillow fort myself up so they can't attack me, but they've got a ton of creatures. And this is the kind of deck where I want to run like creatures can't block. You know what I'm saying? Just go absolutely nuts.
You know what's like really good in there is Furnace of Wrath.
Furnace of Wrath,
Fiery Emancipation.
Oh yeah.
That whole suite of mean
extra damage.
Yeah, because then when you're dealing 3, you're instead dealing 9 or even more. You know. But yeah, I mean that's a fun card.
Cool new treatments here.
There's the. What do you think? This kind of is like a lot of dead space, right?
It's no more dead space than the Lord of the Rings treatment. Honestly, I've kind of started getting used to the big circle at the top. They've used big circle at top of card like 3 times in the last 4 or 5 months. So I'm getting used to it at this point. Just the black behind it. Yeah.
Dude, do they watch our channel? Because we said that they need to dial back on the number of serialized cards, like it can't be 500.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, because 250, that makes me think like people are listening.
Well, I mean, we also said let's not put serialized in every set, and we've got them in back-to-back sets to start the year. So to answer your question, no, I don't think they watch us, but we will have some more Ravnica treatments here. Aurelia above the law. And then we've also got this new like investigation treatment. Looks like a file. Has like all caps lock notes, flavor notes about the. So it's like a case file from a detective.
But this is okay because they kept for the text of the card.
Chat, what do y'all think of these?
For the name of the card, they kept it the same.
Right.
This is kind of cool, dude. I think I like this.
Yeah, Brody doesn't like it. Mod of the channel pointed out right now, but Alquist Prof,
ban him. Ban Brody.
Brody, you're banned. Sorry, buddy.
If Brody doesn't have the same opinion as me, he can go kick rocks.
Can another mod please ban Brody? And if you don't have the power to ban each other mods, knife fight over it.
Get him out of here.
Alquist Prof is showing off here. There's some kind of UV reactive treatment on these cards. I don't know if it's legit, like blacklight is the only way the secrets get revealed, or if it's like a foiling that's supposed to imitate it, but it's different. But I mean, so far the set's looking cool. This was just a first look.
I think it's kind of cool.
This looks like the background for a mobile game. Like you'd have home,
don't care.
You'd have arena, and you'd have like store, and then you'd have inventory, and then you'd have, friends list, and then you'd have community tab, and in the middle would like be your character. Anyway.
Now what would be cool is if there were a Fibblethip in each one that you could find.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. It's also worth noting, I guess, we must note we are getting Shocklands in a very, very meaningful reprint at the start of the year with Ravnica Remastered, y'all. And then you may have heard whispers that there's going to be there's going to be Shocklands in Murders at Karlov, but this is in the Clue themed Magic the Gathering game experience. If you've ever played like Rivals of Ixalan, I've got it on my shelf behind me. Stuff where it's like it's a Magic game, but they put some other rules on top to theme it. That's what it's going to be like. And as box toppers in those sets, they are also going to be including another version of Shocklands. So, you know, in about 4 months, those Galaxy Foil Shocklands prices are going to look real appetizing, y'all.
What do you think about tapping the dining room to add green?
I don't know.
The dining room is red green, dude.
Whatever. I mean, food,
yeah, whatever, right?
Food is red, food is green.
It's
I don't
funny.
know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anything good happened to you in MTG lately, Jake? Oh, real quick before we get into that, let's shout out our sponsors.
Yeah.
Big shout out to our sponsors. We'll get into them in depth later. Card Conduit, best place to sell your cards. TCG Players, the official store of Jake and Joel and Magic. Best place to buy your cards. Dragon Shield sells the best product, sleeves to protect your cards. And then Moxfield, if you want to list your cards. Thank you to all of our channel sponsors. Jake, what'd you do in MTG this week?
This is actually a fun little segment. I like this idea.
Have you got you put it on Moxfield or no?
I did.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and I actually, you can see it. It's Jake's Modern 8 Crab.
Got it.
One thing that I didn't realize in the deluge of MTG content and unbannings and bannings, one thing I didn't realize is that preordain is now legal in Modern. So one thing that I did this week was I took out Serum Visions and I put in preordain, because what's better than Serum Visions is when you get to scry before you do the draw. And so preordain used to be so busted it wasn't legal, but now they've decided that preordain is legal in Modern. And so I changed my 8 Crab deck around, and I haven't got to play it yet, but I'm very excited to play it. But this is the exact deck. I went ahead and I put in all of the exact versions of the cards. And so I was surprised to find out it's $1,000 deck, despite being a very big meme.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked and it's very fun.
Chat, if you're just getting started in Modern, don't play this.
Yeah, this is pretty silly. It's a Johnny deck, and you're not even gonna really be able to win a lot of your games. But I don't know. I have had some Modern showings where this will go like 3-2. But that was before we had the update. And yeah, it runs darkness, it runs the black fog, because sometimes you get in certain situations where darkness can end up, you cast a darkness, and then on your next turn you play a land with 2 crabs out, and then next turn you snapcast your mage to cast darkness again. You can play another land, and then by that point your opponents are just like, if they're untapping their creatures, Mesmeric Orb is milling them out. So the deck is very strong. It was an absolute meme until there were two crabs to play on turn 1. It used to just be Hedron Crab, but when Ruin Crab came out, that's when I finally put the deck together and went out and bought it in paper and built it out of what I had. But that's what I did, and I want to test it out because I'm really excited to try out Preordain. I feel like Preordain could do some really fun stuff here.
Yeah, I want to see. Here we go. Play test. Let's see if we can swap to this other view.
So this, I would mull and try to find a crab.
No,
like Scheming Symmetry is good, but I don't even have the Archive Trap, right? If I Scheming Symmetry, I want to force them to search and then Archive Trap them in response.
So you would mulligan
this for me would be a mull.
Okay. So let's just go restart. And with this 7, would you keep? And which would you push back?
No, this would also be a mull.
So mull to 5. Oh,
this is an easy keep.
Easy keep. What are you kicking?
Yeah,
Surgical?
So I would pitch. No, I would actually keep the Surgical, because I would pitch the Fractured Sanity, and I would pitch probably the Prismatic Vista, either of the lands.
Those shocks the shocks are so good with these. I mean, the fetches are so good with these.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah, so this would actually be a really good 5. So we would actually, you need to send another card away because we mulled the 5.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're getting rid of the Prizzy, or did you say?
Yeah, we'll just get rid of the Prismatic. Okay. So turn 1 would be Watery Grave Crab, and
Say
go.
go. Oh, it's sorry. Hang on. Let's shuffle this out. Whatever. Draw.
All right,
Oh,
so this
beautiful.
turn would be crab.
Yeah. So tap here. Boop. No, we don't take any more damage there. Another crab. And then we go polluted or flooded, really, right?
And then what they'll end up doing is they'll mill 12. And then what we would do then is look and see what their combo piece is and surgical that, and then hope that we can get there with just drawing lands. So we would have 12 cards of their library. Oh, yeah. And then we have them mill 14.
Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah,
after
that
we
seems
do another
good.
12. And this is already out of our hand. So we're in top deck mode at this point.
We're hellbent, but we have crabs.
Well, that's where preordain is nice. So we scry.
Oh my god.
Scry to the bottom, scry to the bottom.
You might just
surgical.
Take another land is fine, but yeah, surgical is going to do more for us because we can keep picking the graveyard apart. Because if we know what is in their hand, like say they haven't used removal, or we know that they have more removal and we don't want them to remove our second crab, then what we would do is we would surgical removal out of the yard to get it out of their hand if we could.
Top deck shell dock.
That's good. And then we would hide away.
Look at the top 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Glimpse. Seems good.
Glimpse goes under shell dock.
Yep.
And so we're at least 12 times 2 is 24 plus 14, 38. Am I doing that math right?
Yeah, plus whatever they...
Plus 7 for their opening hand, and they've drawn like 2 or 3 cards, so 10.
We'll test it out at some point.
Yeah,
I definitely want to do like a league with it and see how it does, especially since Modern has been shaken up as much as it has.
Right.
But I know it's a Johnny deck, and it probably isn't going to do very well, but it's a fun deck. I have it right here. This is the entire thing.
Oh, here, let me swap over.
You can just see it. It's Modern Mill. I love this deck. And yeah, like one time I was at a tournament just picking apart this Tron player, and the Tron player just goes, I'm getting milled over here. I'm losing to the mill deck.
That's so funny.
It's pretty funny.
When was the last time you played it live?
Last time I played it live was probably, oh my god, like 6 months ago. It's so brutal when you play it. Yeah, it's a fun time. I should jam some MTGO some point because that's more accessible and that could be a good time, you know.
Yeah, I want to show you. There was this cool thing. I don't know if you saw
Spectre
it,
says
Jake.
I'll spell table you right now. We can do that at some point. That would be great.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I want to see that deck in action. I want to show you something, Jake, on my MTGO account. It's like absolutely shit in the bed here.
Oh, really?
Here we go. I think.
Oh, is this what you've been kind of doing in MTG right now?
Yeah, it's taken so long. So a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week before, they had a special in the store, and for $20, here, check this out. For $20, you could purchase a pack that was a guaranteed Cavern of Souls and a guaranteed Mana Crypt.
What?
And it was guaranteed that it was one of the color treatments. So I rolled the dice. I got the lowest, like the highest percentage one. I didn't get a really cool one. But I thought it was really cool though, to just be able to straight up buy a Cavern of Souls and Mana Crypt on MTGO. I know a lot of people don't play it.
Yeah.
But
how much was that pack?
The pack was $20. I'm trying to make sure. MTGO
That's not bad at all.
Store.
For something that you'll get to use forever and you can put it in any deck you want.
Yeah, and I actually already had a Mana Crypt on this account, and so now I can sell mine. So
yeah,
what it is oh, where is it? I had it pulled up right here. I can't find this site at all.
Mike says, how about some standard? I have not played any standard. He says, if we're not talking EDH, I've been taking a commander break.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so they had all of these on MTGO that you could buy, along with these two down here. Now, these two were like a special giveaway, and so they sold this Cosmium Neon Ink bundle for $20, and you get one premium foil copy of each of Cavern of Souls and Mana Crypt. So I bought that, and then if you purchase at least $5 in the store, play in a league match, or compete in any scheduled event that has a start time in the above range, you had a chance to win the tricolor Cosmium Neon Ink, this one and this one.
Oh, sweet.
And you would have just like woken up with it in your account. I checked earlier today. I did not get those, but I got the, I did get that to try and like shoot my shot at getting one of the hot ones. I think the yellow ones are pretty cool though.
I think it's sweet that they came matching. Is that how it was going to be for all of them? Are they matching?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I'm not 100%.
Sweet.
I put it into my Liesa deck, and I played this earlier today, man. Yeah. I've been trying to get in a game on MTGO of Commander like once a month, once every 2 weeks or so. It's just become so busy recently. But playing this like taxes style deck earlier today, I had Liesa out on the battlefield, so she's every time you cast something, every time a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life, and she's got lifelink, and you can pay her tax by paying 2 life instead of for each mana that you would spend. So she's never more than 5, but you have to pay life to cast her after that. I was playing against a colorless deck. We aced the first player. They were a Maelstrom Wanderer deck, and I didn't like how quickly they were ramping, and so I got Veto on the board turn 2 by some mana ramp, and then I had Liesa on the deck. So every time on turn 3, and so every time I hit with Liesa, it was 5 damage. Lifelink gained 5. Veto deals another 5. And so over like the course of 3 turns, I just chunked this dude down for 30 as he was trying to get set up. I just had a really quick start, and the other people picked him off, and then the other player didn't really ever, they failed to launch basically, and then it was me versus Cosmic Distortion. I've never played against a commander player who their commander is Cosmic the Great Distortion, and they actually resolve it, and they're able to actually have cards in their hand. Y'all, if you're not familiar, Cosmic Great Distortion says when discard a card with mana value X, counter target spell with mana value X. I cast like 3 spells in a row where this cat was just discarding the exact mana value colorless card in their hand and countering my board. But eventually I was able to turn it around on this fool just because of Authority of the Consuls. Everything was coming into play tapped, and I was gaining life, and through Veto I was dealing life. I had him down under 10, and so it got to the point where it was just like I had attacks on everything just right, where if they cast anything, or if they attacked with a creature, if they did anything, they were going to lose, and I just kind of trapped them in a little box. Pretty sweet game from earlier.
That's pretty sweet. I like this. I like that you have the infinite in there just in case, because why not?
Why not? Also to you, I've got multiple copies of some of these. Look at this. I've got two more copies of this Anguished Unmaking, and you only need 1 copy on MTGO. Same with this Assassin's Trophy and Decimate, Thraxamundar, Dreadbore. There was a time when I was
so smart. You
look at all these.
Actually redeemed this stuff because for some reason
I went on eBay and bought them. People just wanted to sell them for dollars, dude. Just like so cheap. When this was a thing, so chat, what we're talking about is it used to be with Secret Layers, you'd also get a code for the cards on MTGO. And so I would just go troll through eBay and best offer people, $2, $3, $4. And when they were like, yeah, okay, I would be in. I think I have, look at the swamp. Hang on. Let me see how many of these Seb McKinnon swamps I ended up with. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
6, and some
That's
of
so
them are
funny.
foil. I was just like multi-purchasing these secret layer code redemption things. So
I wish that they had let people know better that those codes would expire, because what happened to me is I bought multiples of all that shit, but I just kept the codes thinking, oh, well, what if I sell the code later? Well, the code expired like a year after, and if you didn't claim the code, then you couldn't get any of these cards. So there were a bunch of unclaimed cards. So it's cool
like
that you got those. Those are rare.
Box. Come on.
Because they don't do that anymore, dude.
Nope. They do not. I was able to get, look at this. I got the chromatics here.
Yeah.
I got all of these weird Commander's Field English. Anyway, what I was,
this is all super early stuff.
Check this out. I went, how many copies of this I got too? What was this guy? Happy Little Painting? Oh yeah, Bob Ross. Look at all the Bob Ross lands, bro. Just getting, I was just like soaking these up. Anytime I could see them for super cheap, I was like, zoop, that's mine. Zoop, that's mine. Because those are the ones, lands, you only need one card on MTGO to like be that copy across all of your commander decks, but it is one card represents one card still in this game, just like in real life. And so you need multiples of the lands. You can't just have one copy of a version of a land you like in Arena, but you can just have, just like Arena, like this one Mana Crypt. I can make this my Mana Crypt across all my decks without having to rebuild anything.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I love that about Mitgo, dude. I wish I could do that with my cards. I'll tell you this, if I had one superpower, it would be able to it would be the power to be able to sort my cards very quickly. And that would be it. I would waste my superpower on that.
Yeah, dude, I would go infinite money glitch, but sort your cards.
Infinite money glitch would be pretty cool. You could hire people to sort your cards.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Nah.
I hope everybody's been having a nice MTGOing. Food time. Thank you for saying MTGO greater than MTGA.
Cool.
I don't know if I agree, but I like it.
I like this deck as well. I was looking at it and I was like, this looks pretty fun. You have a lot of low cost stuff, which is cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this Liesa Life Gain deck is fun. This is one where I started putting it together. This is like an MTGO only deck. You can see that most of the treatments are foiled out.
Yeah.
Just trying to get sexy. You know, you got to keep it sexy. You got to keep it light. That's how
you have to keep it sexy light, dude. That's right.
Keep it light, keep it tight, keep it sexy, keep it right.
Sexy light. Sexy new from beer. It's sexy light.
New from Jake and Joel or Magic. It's sexy light.
It's a beer brand. Sexy light.
Chat, we've got two main things for you tonight, and we're going to need your help with one of them. The first one, we don't need your help. We're going to talk through some variants under $2. It is getting to like the holiday times. Yeah, 2 under. What'd you say?
It's $2 and under.
Correct.
Or are they right around $2? Some of the stuff
I've got some that are like a quarter. Yeah. There's everything under $2. It's intended to be sort of like if you want to get your friend a cool treatment for a commander deck, you want to pick up a couple. Oh, I know you like this card in that deck. These are under $2. You can get a really cool gift for your friend or for yourself under $2 for some of these very highly played commander cards that have a ton of variants, and there are some cool ones out there. And then later tonight, we're going to have a call-in show. We're going to run it back. Last time we did a call-in show, it crashed the whole stream, but we're going to try and get it on deck tonight. I think we're just, we'll just crash the stream. We're going to try to get to 69 likes. If we can get to 69 likes, I don't even care if the stream crashes. Is that the attitude to have? I don't know. Absolutely. I love that attitude. Okay. Yeah. The topic for the call-in show, so you can start thinking about it now, because I need y'all jumping in there so we can talk about some stuff. The topic for the call-in show tonight is going to be the best thing and the worst thing in MTG this year, according to you. You're going to pick one best thing, you're going to pick one worst thing, and we're going to chat about them. And that's what the topic for the call-in show. Yeah. Example of like a worst thing might be you are doing some work and you
maybe think that you have a fart coming, but then it's not a fart. And so that would be one of those moments where, oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah,
Best
that would be
thing-
one of the worst things of the year. I've got an example for best thing, actually.
Yeah, what do you have as an example for best thing? And then to help Chad out, I'll come up with another worst thing so that they can kind of start to differentiate between best and worst
things. So the best thing would be like if you were in that same situation, but as you went to, we'll just say pass, it was a roll of $20 bills that came out of your butt. That would be one of the best things of the year. You know what I'm saying?
See, that for me would be ultimately cool when I figured out why it happened and if I'm okay. But in the moment,
borderline worst thing, but it is the best thing.
so I think we need to help out chat, because at this point they might be like,
are y'all confused yet? We're doing a call-in show and we're going to talk about things that came out of your, no, we're talking about the best and the worst thing in MTG this year.
So for example,
Save it. Don't tell us now, Tyler. Don't tell us now. Now you've spoiled it. Save it.
Come on. All right. So the best thing would be you cut into a watermelon, and inside of it, you see your adversary's head, and you know that you no longer need to eliminate them. That would be one of the best things.
Ah, but you did it in church. Now it's one of the worst things.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm starting to understand. Okay. Let's simplify it. Best thing, you go to trick-or-treating, and in your candy is a note from an old friend letting you know that you no longer owe them $20. Right?
Yes, but then you flip over the note and it says, because I'm dead.
Oh, and then you, oh man.
So best thing, worst thing. I think y'all are getting it. I think y'all are understanding it.
Okay. It feels pretty good.
Right. On the whole, it feels pretty good. I say we go ahead and ask one more time for all the lovely ladies and gents in chat to hit that like button. We're about 14 away from 69 likes tonight. And while we swap over, I'm going to need everybody's help because we got to pick a background for this video. So I'm going to need
background time.
Things to search on story blocks. Get your calls in now.
Okay. Background time. Here we go, baby.
I need things to search. It's going to be a loop. We're looking at variants. We're looking at variant loops. So like,
can we type in Gourds? What do we got for Gourd?
Gourds loop. Let's just try it.
I think it's with an H. Gourd.
Oh, GH. Well,
yeah, Gourds.
This was one of the returns. Is this a good background? My favorite part is the bubbles.
That's a lot.
They saw this and went, I think it needs bubbles. Chad, I need some words to search. Please help. I need some words to search. We got to get...
Can we type in best Gourds?
GHORDS?
No, you spelled it right.
How do you spell Gourds?
You were right. It's spelled Gourd.
Oh, look at this.
Gourds.
How about some trucks?
Look, come on. Best Gourds 2023. There's got to be something.
I'm not... Oh, Xmas. That's a good one. Christmas loop. Now we're thinking as a group. See, together we will have a successful YouTube channel.
Do we like the snow? Loop, could we put Christmas Gourd and just see what?
It's got to be a loop. Oh, I kind of like. Jake, I'm digging this.
There's no Gourd loop.
I'm actually really digging this. What do you think of this?
What? Wait a minute. Hold on, because there's. So, just making sure completely that the Gourds are out.
Let me try it one more time.
Be able to make
Will you
Gourds?
Please confirm the correct spelling of Gourds as you mean it?
It's Gourd. I just want to see what comes up with Gourd, and then I'll move on.
Gourds loop.
Okay.
Okay, nothing on loop. Let's just try Gourds.
Oh. Yeah, lots of regular Gourds. But these. See, now that could work, right?
It's not a loop. It's going to have this weird catch jump when we're running it in the background of a card. What about a kitten with some Gourds?
So this is like for a video, if you were like, are you looking at when to harvest your gourds, and they're a little bit unripe.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I honestly.
Well, then, yeah, we'll go with the Christmas lights.
Yeah, I'm digging the Christmas. I think that was a perfect call. Let's turn the
what I will do is
on.
Later, when everybody's asleep, I'll Google the gourds myself. And
computer, show me some gourds. Show me today's gourds. What's the name of that?
Yeah,
what's the name of that sketch
gourds.
with Ant-Man?
No one is. There's not a Top Gourds 2023 website yet, and it's almost the end of 2023. Is this an untapped market?
Oh my god, it's supposed to be a transition. This loop won't work. Look, it like fades out.
Oh yeah, that's weird, man.
Why story blocks? Why do you hurt our souls like this? All right, hang on. We need a different Christmas loop. I think we're just gonna go with that snowy day. That was a pretty good one. Snowy day was pretty good.
Oh, we could do a Gourds tier list, but then we would have to cut probably the call-in show.
I'm down if you want to start pulling some gourds so that we've got our images.
No, let's just do it in the future. We can figure it out. I don't want to. I would love to seriously rank gourds if that's something that we could actually do. But if it's not something that we're going to take seriously, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get there and
I'm taking it seriously.
We're about to rank the top gourds.
What part of our conversation right now makes you think I'm not taking this seriously?
No, I mean, no, I know that you'll take it seriously, but I feel like in the middle of it, you'll start to think it's funny and you might laugh at some of the pictures of the gourds depending on, I don't know, like what they look like or how the shape of them. And I just don't want to be in that kind of situation where you might, and I don't think you're going to do it because I know, like, if you're doing a serious gourds tier list versus a funny gourds tier list,
right?
Where, like, if it's a funny gourds tier list, then we're probably going to be looking at pumpkins and like Halloween gourds and stuff with like funny faces. And
right. One of the problems though is like, what about rights? Are we just going to be pulling these gourds images off of the internet randomly? Big gourd might have something to say if we're not using exactly what is approved. We're going to have to run it through the IP. They're going to have feedback.
That's what's good about Magic is they just let you use the images of all their stuff, and then you don't even have to worry about where you're getting the pictures of the gourds.
Would you?
Ideally,
do you think you would feel
your
self-conscious if I started laughing at some of the gourds that you picked as the images for the tier list?
Is that going to make
that? I would feel. That's going to make you self-conscious.
That would make me feel awful if I saw you laughing at the pictures of the gourds,
right,
that I picked out.
Well, that's going to insult you. And we don't want something. We don't want anything as simple but as profound as gourds to come in between us.
No, I don't think it would come between us at all. I think it would just be in that moment.
There's a lot of money on the line. They are really sponsoring the heck out of this gourd segment.
What is the best? Okay. Just tuned in. What's going on? We're going to move on from a really important conversation about different types of gourds, which would be like pumpkins and squash, that kind of stuff.
Did you say squash?
Is squash not a gourd?
I wanted you to make... Did you say it? I wanted to make sure you said it. It's one of the most important gourds.
Yeah, squash is a great gourd.
Yeah.
Annie, top gourds 2023.
Ask her what she thinks of the bottle gourd. There's cucurbits.
Top gourd.
There's loofah, ash gourd, banana squash.
She said acorn squash.
Bitter gourd. Acorn squash is good. It's not up there. Butternut squash. I mean, are we going to talk acorn squash when we got butternut squash on the board?
What? How many? Okay, and there's no gourds in MTG either?
Well, actually, that's a really good question that I hadn't considered yet. Let me go ahead and just search the word.
Is there
gourd.
a pumpkin at all in MTG?
No, there's a lot of pumpkins. I mean, like, I don't think squash. There's nothing with the word gourd in it, but squash. Oh, there is a card called squash, but it's about like a giant smashing something.
Spaghetti squash. Okay. Proud patron over here of the gourd talk.
Welcome back to Jake and Joel are board of gourds.
Jake and Joel are bored of gourds.
All right, today we're talking about hardened scales is the last one, Jake.
Okay. All right, well, let's get into this. We're going to dig in really deep on one of the next streams about the gourds and figure out what we need to do in order to make that more of part of, you know, kind of what we have going on over here.
Yeah, I apologize. We didn't have a more concise segment for that tonight, chat.
That was more of like a brainstorming session is what it felt like in front of everybody.
Right.
Which is honestly embarrassing.
Super embarrassing.
I feel embarrassed a lot. But I don't know, dude. Let's just move on from the gourd thing. Everybody forget the Men in Black thing. Everybody's forgotten it. Never even made it to the internet.
Forgotten what?
Done. Exactly. All right. So we are going to be going over top Magic the Gathering variants at $2 or less, meaning these are not the base copy of the card. This is a slightly snazzier version. It's really funny that I'm looking at a Murderous Rider right now because I remember overpaying for these back during the premiere of Showcase cards in Throne of Eldraine. And now we have seen years later, well, that's just par for the course. So this card is at $2. Oh man, dude, that's insane.
Every card on this list is $2 or less. These are fantastic pickups for you. These are great, gonna make great gifts for your friends. If there's a card you see on this list that they're constantly playing, which you should, these are all very, very playable Commander cards. You can get it for your friends. Say, hey, Merry Holiday, Merry Crimbus. Here is a Murderous Rider. It's not what I think of you, but I want you to think of me when you play this card. It's a removal then a creature with 2 relevant creature types. Try it out. Jake, one of my favorite parts of using Gem Razor is suddenly giving a creature trample out of nowhere while also acing one of their artifacts or enchantments.
I like that a mutate card got included on this list.
Well, we said that they are, you know, affordable, not easy to understand. And so it's not, that wasn't a qualification for picking any of these cards. They need to look cool and they need to be playable. And I feel like those two lines cross beautifully with Gem Razor.
Gem Razor looks so cool. I love this comic book style art that came out of this set. These are some of my favorite variants.
Yeah, they really do look dope. Here's another one. Nethroi, Apex of Death. Got 2 mutate cards on the list. This one mutates in for 7. 2 black and either a green and white and then 4. But if it mutates onto something, it's going to give that something Death Touch and Lifelink. And it's going to return 10 power of creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield. Wow.
It's a pretty fun commander if you want to try building it in as your general. I like this, dude. This card is, man, it's got that nightmare art as well. I like that the way that this is sorted is you are going to see showcase cards on here, but for anybody who might be like, wait a minute, these are, you know, full art cards or whatever, they're both included on this list.
Yeah, what is an official showcase card to MTG might surprise you. We'll make that the video title and clickbait it. Jake, this creature is constantly demonic tutoring for cards. It does go on top and you do have to attack, but nobody wants to block the little nasty here because the nasty is nasty. And if you get touched by it, you're not going to have a good time.
This art is so good. I love the art on this. And this was one of the most hyped cards from this set.
Oh, yeah.
When it first came out. And so now this card has come to a much more affordable price. Everything on this list, low risk, around the $2 range.
Yeah, absolutely. Super low risk. That's a really good point. Jake, I don't think the audience is going to believe it, but there's a scroll card on this list. But look, the scroll cards that are sagas, chat, tell me if you agree or disagree. This actually looks pretty dope because there's not a weird giant black space missing everything on the left. It's only on the right here, and it kind of feels balanced and looks cool.
Oh, I see. You like this one because it's a saga.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The sagas in the scroll treatment from Lord of the Rings I think look pretty cool. And this one, I mean, 5 mana makes a creature unblockable for all these turns that this stays. I mean, makes a creature unable to block, excuse me, for all the turns that this is on the field. Go get a mountain card. It doesn't say a basic mountain, so you can get whatever.
Yep.
And then you create a 6/6 dragon with flying and haste that sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch. So when it dies, getting 14 treasure tokens is just gravy on the fact that you've got an A-list celebrity in your commander deck now.
If you get the 14 treasure tokens, simply having something like Revel in Riches is going to be enough to just win the game.
Ridiculous.
So pretty
Can
sweet.
be really ridiculous. And these sagas, these are going to be some of the only scroll ones that I ever suggest. Jake, I feel like I always see this card drawing people a ton of cards. Every time people play it, I go, okay, whatever. But then I'm like, wow, they are just really drawing a lot of cards over there.
This card is very strong.
Looking at it,
The only thing that holds it back, in my opinion, is that it's 4 mana, but it's very good once you get it online. It's very good.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's a casual card. It's not a competitive card, but
Right.
you know, it really can keep you
making
way
sure.
ahead.
Did you get my picks in here, by the way?
Yes, I did. Absolutely did.
Oh, okay, cool. Sweet.
Tranquil
Okay,
Frill back.
Annie, I'm in the middle of a segment. Just leave. Break a leg. Have fun. See you later. You look great. She's like, do I look silly? I'm like, no, you don't look silly. You look great.
Ask
Have a
her
fun
what
time.
she thinks of Tranquil Frillback.
Break a leg. See you later.
I myself have been very on the record saying I like these Ikoria coin treatments. They're not for everybody, but when you get this treatment on a green creature that can just have mana pumped into it to destroy artifacts, enchantments, exile someone's graveyard. Sorry, Marin player. Sorry, Dahada Joel. And then nobody's ever used the third mode on this ever in the existence of time. But little ETB Dino doing some work. Coin treatment, $2 or less. Not bad.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty cool little card here. I like modal cards, things that are where you get to pick between different things. I'm a fan. And I actually really like these treatments. I know that some people aren't a big fan of them, but they're pretty cool. Next up, we have Sithis Harvest Hand, 1 green, 1 white for a 1/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. If you're playing enchantments, a lot of them, you probably want this in your deck.
This is one of the most annoying commanders for that archetype, but it's good in the command zone. It's good in the 99. It's good. It's good. It's good. I am also thinking that some people are surprised, especially after seeing our tier list the other week, that we have a sketch card on here. This isn't the only sketch card on here, but I think that this one looks a little different. I like that the art is a little bit more fleshed out, and the sketch treatment, you know, it sort of gives an older timeier look. It doesn't read, this one for me doesn't necessarily read unfinished like some of the others do. It just kind of reads different and dreamy, you know, almost colored pencil.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. It actually gives me like a watercolor vibe.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Cute.
Seraph, the Viper's Fang. I mean, you want to get death touched down by a creature that definitely looks like it has to do with death touch?
Dude, this is a good one, man. This is the Equinox frame. So
no one knew the name of that, but I'm glad that we know now.
We know it now. It's the Equinox frame.
Yeah. This one,
dude, hexproof is so strong, dude. Wizards of the Coast actually, like, they hate hexproof.
well,
Very rarely see it these days.
like Seraph can stay untapped and have this ability to untap another target creature and basically give it hexproof at instant speed if it's tapped to make it untap. And then your attacking line having death touch, like, nobody's gonna block. Nobody wants their stuff to die instantly to all your tiny little blockers.
yeah,
Go
there's
wide.
just so much going on with this card, dude.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards from last year, and at this point it's special treatment. I'm just like the little growth, the leaves and the vines and all this stuff on the side. It just looks so death touchy to me. I don't know any other way to explain it.
Oh, there's SRAM.
Special shout out, Jake, with the SRAM Senior Edificer. Masterpiece frame version of SRAM. I would say most people are probably playing this in their aura or equipment decks. I mean, if you got a vehicle deck, nice. Let me see it.
What is this outfit that SRAM is wearing here?
It's just him as a statue. I'm more impressed by his like bronzed. He's got some sort of harpoon kind of gun, and he's on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
With his goggles up. I don't know. His whole look is really sick here. But I was
got an aura, an equipment, a vehicle going on. Look at this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I really like that they revisited this frame. I hope that it's not driven into the ground by the time we go back, but I hope we get more creatures like this. I like
it's a really cool, dude. It's a really cool frame, and the originals will always hold their premium, in my opinion. You know, the ones that have a premium, heavy air quotes on premium these days. But there are a few that are still very expensive. But yeah, if we ever go to like a Kaladesh like showcase frame, yeah, there's going to be tons of them that are just going to be bulk. And we see now with SRAM, you know, at the $2 range, it's such a cool card, and it's a fun commander, and it's a card that's great in the 99 of a lot of decks, which is why we see it in so many commander decks. So yeah, if you want the pimp version, it's very cheap. And this card is really good as well. Brilliant Restoration for 4 white and 3 other. We have this big splashy sorcery. Return all artifact and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty big effect.
Yeah, big swingy effect here. It's played for the same reason that people play Breach the Multiverse, people play Rise of the Dreadmarn, or not Rise of the Dreadmarn, Rise of the Dead Realms. You know, just that can be your big swing. We're gonna just Hail Mary here. Everything all at once, pass to you. If I untap, I probably win. If my graveyard was full enough. And what was this treatment called, Jake? Do you remember the name of this treatment off the top of your head?
This is the Soft Glow treatment.
Glow, that's right. It's got that architectural influence at the top, sort of hearkening to that culture, and got the soft glow throughout to make it a little techno, but it's not overwhelmingly techno in these treatments.
It's like a neon kind of retro thing. I was actually really surprised that this card was on the list.
Dude, under $2. I think it's because it got banned in Standard. Nobody wants a copy anymore.
It's still good in Commander. I like it in Commander.
I like it too. 2 mana activation. You tap it, remove a charge counter from it, and draw. And then if you don't have any charge counters on it anymore, create a treasure token and a pilot. It said it can pilot this vehicle. You know, it's just some card draw. It's a crazy looking version of a nice little colorless card draw engine.
I remember buying these in foil, and I bought like 3 or 4 of them at around like $2 a piece. So if the non-foil is $2, I imagine the foils have gone up a little bit. But since it did get banned, I wouldn't be surprised if the price on this, you know, stays nice and low. It's a card that is busted in like a Standard environment, which is why it got banned. There's just like everybody wants it, right?
Why not?
Doesn't matter what deck you're in. You know, it's got the Smuggler's Copter vibe, right? Where Smuggler's Copter, when it came out in Standard, every deck ran it. Even if you were in freaking like white-blue control, you were probably running Smuggler's Copter because it was just helping you loot, and any of your little dorky creatures could crew it. And even though the crew on this is too higher on the Bank Buster, it does kind of the same thing. When there's no color identity to go with a really good artifact, it ends up getting the ban. I'm actually really surprised that Smuggler's Copter got unbanned, but we won't bring that into this video, but still.
Sweet treatment, colorless draw engine that's also a vehicle. Jake, this one came out this year.
Great card.
Under $2. The treatment, some of these versions just look really sick, and this is one. The art looks like what it does. Extra points if you're in a deck that's putting +1/+1 counters on stuff. Any kind of counters, really. You're in a Super Frenzy kind of deck. This is just like this 2 mana. It's a 2 mana 3/2 that then has upside, which is wild to me. I love this version of this card, and this has become a super highly playable card very, very quickly.
What's really nice about a card like this is you get it back in those decks. It's like super cheap in like a Carador or like a Muldrotha, right? It's like very easy to get it back. And then that ability, you get that suite of abilities that are on this thing that you can sacrifice. And so that's really, really nice. It's not like an ETB or something. I mean, even if it were an ETB, it would still be fine. But yeah, it's pretty sweet, dude. Very fun card.
Recurring it over and over again. You're speaking
just
my
recur
language,
it over
baby.
and over. And it's super cheap, and you get 3 effects on it. Yeah. I included this because this was a card that was just so freaking
Y'all remember the
hyped.
hype on this one?
There was so much hype around this card, and now you can get it if you want to build a very specific, weird kind of zany commander. Here it is for $2. Go to town, do some weird shenanigans with Lord Xander the Collector.
Chat, if
What do you
you're
think
here
of
with
this
us
one?
live, has anybody ever played with or against Lord Xander? I really want to
We
get
have.
some like takes of Lord Xander. I never found it really good. It was just kind of like discard some stuff if it ETBs. It ain't getting played more than like once, and it attacking is probably gonna be rare but doable maybe. The dice trigger's more interesting to me, but it can only target one opponent. So it's like whoever kills Lord Xander gets aced by that thing. It's just I don't know.
It's very big and very splashy effects.
Yeah.
I would like to see someone pull it off. It's on the list because it's something where it's like, here's this thing that was expensive that is not even nearly that price anymore. So if you want to try it out, this is something to consider. And it
Yeah.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, pay attention to those mythics that are over 30 that you're like, yeah, there's no way this will drop. This one's under 2 now. This is the special version of it.
Vampire Demon Noble.
I love the showcase treatment on this. I said it when we did the tier list, and I'll say it again. This gilded treatment. I can't wait to go back to New Capenna. Maybe spend some more time here. Here's another New Capenna card, Jake. We've talked about this one before, but
So
I thought
good.
it was worth mentioning. If you're in Esper, instant speed can't be countered, destroy a permanent. The only thing that can make this card better in its form right here is if it's at exile instead of destroy. But I mean, instant speed can't be countered. The thing is dying. It just doesn't get around indestructible. Under $2, rare removal spell if you're in Esper or greater. I think
Non-land
it's
permanent. Very good.
super worth the pickup here. I'm loving this, loving the art, love the treatment. Really good ones here. We didn't have a lot of Mystical Archive on here, but you got to go look at the Mystical Archive, y'all. There are cards that are very affordable and are widely playable. They chose some of the most played instants and sorceries across like all formats for the Mystical Archive. Probably have a video next year sometime just revisiting the entire group of cards and seeing where they're at now. But we chose not a meme card like we could have chosen with the Destroy All Non-Dragons card. We chose D-Spark, instant speed, exile. I've started playing this card in every deck where it's in the colors. Jake, are you still playing this a lot?
Really quick, the Void Wren gets through Ward, which is worth mentioning. I like D-Spark a lot. I really like D-Spark. Exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater is very good. A lot of the biggest, splashiest stuff, this card is just like, well, exile it. Get it out of here. I like it. I'm a fan.
Yeah, to your point, Jake, you were talking about Void Wren. Spell can't be countered. Ward is a counter that counters the spell unless something happens. So if it says it can't be countered, Void Wren does not care about Ward. That is a really good point.
Yeah, it's a really fun and good point there.
But yeah, back-to-back removal spells, D-Spark.
Removal is good.
Dude.
I like having reactive spells. They're very important. They get you out of a bind.
And let's exile it. Let's just get it out of here and not worry about it anymore. Welcoming Vampires a little more my speed. A white and 2 for a 2/3 says whenever one or more other creatures with power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Happens only once a turn. Yo, there are so many
That's
token
fine.
creators. Right. This is completely fine with me. It doesn't say non-token on it, so anything that's just residually creating a token, if you've got Bitter Blossom on the battlefield, welcoming Vampire on the battlefield, Bitter Blossom creates the token, you lose a life, you draw a card, you draw your card for turn, it's like
it's essentially a Howling Mine just for you.
right, because you're only building this into decks where you're going to be filling up the board with creatures power 2 or less. So anytime you can draw extra cards, especially in decks like this where you're going to want to continuously apply battlefield pressure, you need to keep your hand full. And I really do like this treatment. I know I reviewed it pretty harshly, but
Fang.
Yep, Fang treatment does look cool, especially on this card. So I like Welcoming Vampire a lot, y'all, and under $2 is a really great place to pick this up. And then we're into our Enchanting Tales. And wow, Enchanting Tales is another one where it's just like stacked. It is like Mystical Archive in that it is stacked with beautiful looking versions of highly playable cards. We picked out a few for y'all.
Yeah, there's like ley lines on this list. This is a list because so much Wilds of Eldraine is getting opened and has been opened that tons of these cards are extremely inexpensive right now, and it's like very good cards. So Leyline of Anticipation is on this list. 2 blue, 2 other. Get a big old enchant. You may cast spells as though they had flash, and like all Leylines, you get it early. Polluted Bonds, 2 black, 3 other for another enchantment. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's pretty sweet, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Commander?
You're going to want to be stacking effects like this, but this has a home in a deck stacked with effects. I was just talking about at the beginning of the stream, my Liesa deck. It's all a bunch of if they cast a spell, they lose a life. If they play a creature, I gain a life. They lose a life. Bunch of stuff like that. Anytime now we're going to tax their lands entering, get them down low enough, suddenly they're like, I probably just shouldn't play a land this turn. That's just a 4 life swing in their direction. Yep.
I love that on the bottom of this card they went with like kind of like a dark purple instead of like black.
Yeah,
on the bottom of these, you know, I think that was a nice touch.
Dude, design across the board. It has a really nice aesthetic. Look at this design across the board for these is just fantastic. You've got the spikies. Sanguine Bond, classic enchantment, y'all. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. The art is dope. Harry Conway knocked this out of the park. The frame is dope. We've talked about that. The color choices, everything works so well together. They're beautiful. And so, I mean, we're just highlighting some of our favorite ones, but the whole group is stacked. Jake, this Waste Knot.
I mean, Waste Knot is such a great card too. This is like an engine, man. This card is freaking nuts. Now it has its own constructed decks, but it's also good in Commander, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you've got the right Commander, you got the right deck built into it. You're absolutely getting value off of this.
Like if you're playing like a Croxa or something like that, you probably want this.
Yeah, love how we're splashing this giant green there. The eyeballs are such high contrast, pop out wonderfully. The card is dope. I really like this version of Impact Trimmers. You've got 2 main versions of Impact Trimmers, the main one, and then kind of a very limited offshoot one. But this is the 3rd version. And I mean, this enchantment will win you a game, and it's at uncommon. Yeah. So it's like the super most affordable that it can possibly be. This is one of the ones we were talking about. It's probably under a quarter. Like all of these on this list are $2 or less, but this one is super cheap. You know what that means when we're talking about these $2 variants? Go look at foils. Go see if you can find some like even more premium version, pay an extra $1. You know what I'm saying? Impact Trimmers is going to win you games. I'm sure that y'all have a friend who plays Prosh or plays Perforos or plays any commander where Impact Trimmers is going to be a win con, right?
Oh yeah, dude. This card is just busted. Just passive value, dude. So strong.
A creature, doesn't even say non-token.
And same thing with this card. This card used to be super scarce, but if you're playing a deck that has all creatures of the same creature type, you should probably be running this.
If you've got red in that, you absolutely should.
You should be running this. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it.
Shared
animosity. This card used to be so expensive, dude. Yeah. And now look at it. It's literally under $1.
Well, it's so desirable. A special version of it is under $1. And look, I'm telling you, the creature type decks, those aren't going anywhere. These kind of cards are going to always be, they're always going to have a home in some commander deck. And so getting these foils, especially super, super cheap, is definitely worth it. I've seen more people playing this recently, and I'm so happy about it because when it enters the battlefield, if you already have the creature on the battlefield, that's the best time to play this, is wait until you have the creature. Typically with enchantments like this, you want to wait, you want to play it first and then develop your battlefield. But this one plays so well because in a deck like this, you want to be applying pressure. You can't take a turn off to play a mana rocket and an enchantment pass. We need to surprise you. I have a 10-10 with no trample. Now I play Garrick's Uprising. Draw a card immediately. It suddenly gains trample. And then I also get future value off of playing more creatures that I hopefully draw. Love this enchantment. You got to pick this one up, especially this version. I mean, come on. It's got him as the Hunt Master in there. He's ready to eat you alive.
This card looks great. This card looks great. Wait, hold on. Chat is frozen. You see this?
Yeah, chat box on the screen is frozen. There's nothing I can do about it, though.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's a known bug, ongoing bug with stream elements. Sometimes it's worse.
Got it.
Sometimes it's better. I've opened multiple tickets. I think, people who've been watching us for a long time, this has been happening for like over a year.
Oh, wow. So this just happens sometimes.
Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. And tonight, it seems very stuck at Zach G saying, wait, so are we doing Gourds or not? Which will be very, very confusing for the people watching this after the fact.
Yeah, something happened there. Yeah, Hardened Scales is a very good card.
Right, hang on, let me lead into that one.
Oh, okay.
Got this art of Garrick there looking like he's still in his villain arc. And Jake, I completely missed this card when I was going through.
Oh yeah, Hardened Scales. It's just very good. If you're in counter deck, you want it. It's a constructed card, and it's also a commander card.
It's crazy. The look of this one is just insane. It almost looks like nothing, but then this snake sort of appears in the view. It's almost like it's camouflaged in its own art, which is just a nuts effect. This almost looks like a little comic book snake too. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, y'all,
it's pretty sweet.
There are a lot of variants that have just absolutely tanked in price because of the amount of reprints we've received over the last 2 years. Not great for collectors, but very great for players. Customize your deck. Pick up some of these for your friend. Cheap gift. Hey, happy holidays. Love ya. You're always kicking my ass with Hardened Scales. Here's a cool version I got you. Jake, here's a cool version of SRAM, serialized, 500 of 500.
If you know, oh man, right? Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, this is a great card. I really love knowing that. I mean, if you get somebody a full play set of Hardened Scales, they'll just be like, wow. Oh, if they're like me, they're gonna remember that card being expensive. Magic variants. It's never been more customizable, ever. And it's only gonna get more customizable.
Only more. Chat, don't go anywhere. We've got a chat box to unstick somehow, and we've got our call-in show coming up. We want to know your best thing of MTG in 23 and your worst thing of MTG in 23. Real quick though, let me talk about our sponsor, Card Conduit. Simply put, Card Conduit wants to save you time. Card Conduit has got a service where you box up your cards, sorted or unsorted, depending on how much money you want them to keep. They're going to take your cards, go through them, grade them, and then buy list them for the best price that they possibly can. And you're just going to get a check. That's it. If you were listening carefully, the only parts you have to worry about are send them cards, get some money. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you want to get some more money, you can sort them up. Only send cards that are $1 or more. That's going to get your fees down to 5%. And if you use our JAJAM code, you're going to get 10% right back to you. We really love these guys. Jake has got an order off right now. Our mods have done and completed a full order and had a whole write-up of his experience doing that. Big thank you to Card Conduit for sponsoring the channel.
Yeah, Card Conduit is great. It was a very easy to use service. I have enjoyed the process. I'm actually making a video out of how the service went for me. So stick around in the future if you haven't used Card Conduit, and you're going to get to see kind of what my process was like. If you have cards that are very expensive, you might not want to buy list them. So this, for me, is a service where if I'm getting rid of like a bunch of stuff that I don't want to make individual auctions for, if I don't want to put in that time,
right,
then I am just going to buy list those cards, and Card Conduit is a fantastic resource for that. That's the best way to describe it.
Yep, absolutely. Also want to shout out TCG Player and Dragon Shield. You want to buy cards, you want to protect those cards. Use our TCG Player link in the description if you are shopping there on the internet for MTG cards, or what's everybody talking about recently? Sorcery cards. Any sorcery Andes out there in chat? Are those cards the typical size of trading cards? I don't know anything about the game other than like 6 people have been like, hey, have y'all heard of sorcery? And I'm like, yup.
A lot of people.
And then I stopped talking.
A lot of people are into sorcery.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
I want to see if we can, speaking of Dragon Shields, I want to see if we can get chat kick-started here. So I'm going to give away a little pack of Justice Matte dual sleeves. I'm throwing them on the floor first. These are the gray, brand new gray. Sorry, silver dual matte textured back. So they're black on the inside. Let's, big thanks to Dragon Shield for sponsoring the channel. And let's do a little giveaway. See if we can kick our chat box
giveaway action here. Okay.
back into gear here before we get the call-in show going. Hashtag wake up chat.
I woke up very early today, and so I am a little bit tired, but I'm doing my darndest.
Hashtag wake up chat. Everybody type in hashtag wake up chat and see if we can get chat to wake up.
See if you can get chat to wake up. Wake
That's going to enter you to win some Dragon Shields. And then we're going to talk about the best and worst things of your MTG year. Jake, have you had a good year in MTG, do you think?
My year in MTG has been pretty sweet. I'm sorry that the Gourd talk. This is worst of the year. Chat is broken. That is the worst of the year.
It is weird how it's not catching up whatsoever. You expect
what
it
if you
to go.
Like, hey, what if you remove the chat box and re-add it? Is that going to be weird? No. What if you like?
What if I hide and unhide it?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Somebody type in hashtag wake up chat.
Watch, now it's just going to be a blank chat box.
I guess it's better than a bunch of people asking what the fuck we're talking about and saying Gourds ?
Oh, this is so funny.
Occasionally Jake wants to break into a Tim and Eric sketch and nobody really knows what's going on, but we do it. I know what's going on.
Joel's like,
Chat doesn't know what's going on.
Joel's like, it's time to improvise right now. Yeah, you do it too sometimes.
I can do it.
All right, well, this could be its own Tim and Eric sketch.
Chat is broken.
Hey, what? Okay. What did we do about the chat box?
I guess nothing. It is what it is. We can still run the giveaway. I've got 21 people entered.
I don't know if I can do any more without the chat box.
Hashtag wake up chat. It's so weird. The nights that we do the call-in show, everything breaks. We haven't even gotten to the call-in show yet.
This is easily the worst of 2023 is the chat box. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on around the world that air quotes, heavy air quotes is worse, but the chat box being broken is the top 10 worst things that have happened all time. Easy.
Computer, load up Celery Man, please.
Who do we have to fire about the chat box? Is anyone around to fire? We don't have anyone to fire.
Would you like to see Nude Tane?
What is it?
Would you like to see Tane nude?
Who is Tane?
I'm rolling this. Zach Holiday. Zach, what's up? Zach Holiday, you won the Justice Sleeves. Message me, please. Message me on Discord. You know the deal. You've been around. I've seen you. I know it. I believe you. Zach Holiday, you won the Justice Sleeves courtesy of our sponsor, Dragon Shield. Dragon Shield, thank you for sponsoring the channel. We really appreciate it. Chat can't even see to verify that I'm telling the truth.
No, they
that
they
would be...
should be able to see over in the actual
Oh,
like
yeah,
chat
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
There
side.
is a real chat, just not screen chat. You know, it makes me want to do
the
this.
saddest thing.
Get dink, get dink. There we go.
Zach,
Now it's just a big. Now it's just a big blank box. Boom. At least it's not a
that's
big
better.
blank box.
If chat isn't going to show up,
No.
Zach G with the $5 says, "Wake up, chat." We got a $5 dono from Zach G. Last night's Foil Quest sponsor.
Oh, nice.
Went home with the Amano.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say y'all pulled an Amano last night. I was watching so much of that as I was editing, and then
Did you miss the Amano?
I missed it, and I came back, and you were like, "I can't believe we pulled Amano." I was like, "Well, how the fuck did I miss? I was watching this whole fucking thing. What's going on? That's not appropriate. That's not
Quick,
what I want to
let's say
see."
nice things. There, unplug it and plug it back in.
I wish.
Here's the thing. I am about to seriously destroy my computer if that chat box does not come back.
Your computer has nothing to do with it. You just want to destroy your computer, and you keep looking for excuses.
I'm gonna break everything on my desk.
Earlier
if
today,
we don't
he was
bring
like,
chat back.
"This bottle of water is empty. I'm going to destroy my computer if Annie doesn't bring me another bottle of water right now." And we're just like, "Jake, if you want to destroy it, do it, but you don't have to destroy it to get a new one. It doesn't have to be destroyed to go get a new computer."
If that chat box doesn't come back,
Kraken
I'm
Jank,
gonna destroy my computer.
member for 11 months. Thank you, Kraken Jank. Return of Foil Quest, best thing 2023. I like it. All right, chat, you got to be in the Discord to participate in our next little segment.
What chat?
Thanks to all of our sponsors, by the way. Oh, giveaway. You got names?
Oh, I don't. No, I don't. If you can do that part for me, I will do all of the stuff tomorrow, reaching out to them and
Got this.
getting all that ordered.
Got this.
Thank you. Sorry.
No worries. Patrons, we are behind on our giveaways for the Patreon. If you want to get entered into a gift card giveaway right now, here, Merry Christmas, probably last dual stream of the year. Jake starts traveling next week for the holidays. I may stream. I may just take all the time off until January. But
yeah, I will not be. I will actually be. Yeah, I won't be able to do next week. So this is our last. Like JAJAM show before we go on break for the EOY.
Yep, that's right. I'm gonna get this ready. We'll go ahead and move over and start the talk show.
Zach
And,
G.
I can run this as we
21 months.
tonight we are going to give away 6 gift cards to TCG Player. Thank you for sponsoring TCG Player. We're going to give
Nice.
6 $40 gift cards away live tonight just after our call-in show. Type exclamation Patreon if you want to go jump in, get into the giveaway, or just join the Patreon and support us for that reason. That'll be a nice little perk. We're going to run a giveaway tonight. 6 of you are going to go home with $40 gift cards to TCG Player. We're going to get that done as soon as we are done with our talk back. Exclamation point Discord is going to get you in to our Discord, and that's going to allow you to see the Phyrexian Arena. Jake, I'm going to swap over to the Phyrexian Arena if you would do the same.
I will swap over to the Phyrexian Arena, but I want it on the record that I'm annoyed about chat.
Oh, me too, brother. Me too. Chat, let's get this situated.
Okay.
Jake, I'll see you in just a second.
Great, bye.
December chat. Make sure you are in our Discord because we're starting a stage over there in the Phyrexian Arena. You should see the JAJAM call-in show for 6 December. I'm seeing people pop in right now. It's happening. Let's swap over to the right scene. Okay. Yes, all this is looking like it's working. I'm seeing people file in. Jake is filing in. We're going to invite Jake to speak. Beautiful. What'd you say?
I thought about saying not now for invited to speak.
Oh,
I was
got
like,
you.
Not now.
Yeah. Well, get that camera turned on, Jake, and we'll be good to go. Chat, if you've got comments tonight, we want you to call in.
What the H?
Down at the bottom, there should be a request to speak button. That's going to put you in line to speak. And tonight, what we want to hear. Yeah. Tonight, what we want to hear from you is your best and your worst of MTG in 2023. Jake, go. Jake.
Chat, seriously though, if you put on your worst that the chat isn't working, you'll be banned because we already know. And it is DEFCON 5 around here. Everything's on fire.
Jake,
please don't bring it up.
Jake, you've got to go start your union mandated get up from your chair breaker. It's never going to be over.
You have to union mandate get up out of your chair right now.
He still has to leave, chat, and then come back. Look at that. Chat's broken on this screen too. Got a little community call in show going tonight. Once Jake is finally back, chat, I want to hear from y'all as well. Best and worst of MTG. Man, a lot of happened. Just so much happened this year. So much happened. And if you've been thinking about joining our Patreon, now's never been a better time. Tonight we're giving away those 6 gift cards. $40 to TCG Player. That'll get you a bundle in 1998. What are bundle prices now? 70? 60? MTG release schedule. Releases 2023. Because you know there was a lot. Nearly 1 set per year. And it all started with Frixie All Will Be One. Well, I guess it actually started with Dominaria Remastered, right? That was definitely first. Show requests to speak. Oh, nice. Look, there we got chat there. That's a good place for chat to be. T-Wolf said, for anyone that cares, just got a ping from my tracker. 40% drop on box of all 4 Warhammer 40k commander decks to 165 for the set of the non-foils. 165 is pretty crazy. T-Wolf, is that TCG Player? Amazon. Now I want to see.
Union satisfied.
Good. Warhammer 40k commander decks. Wow. Jake, am I still sharing screen to you? I'm not.
No.
Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond 40k commander deck bundle, 1 of each, on sale for $163 right now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's better than pretty good. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's
I want to see what I can find.
Price.
On Amazon, you can buy gourds.
Okay, we're done with that meme. The call-in show topic for tonight, best and worst of MTG 2023. Jake, just to set a little context, Dominaria Remastered on January 13th. Phyrexia All Will Be One, February 10th. Shadows over Innistrad Remastered, that was Arena, March 21st. March of the Machine, April 21st. March of the Machine, the Afterfart, May 12th. The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, June 23rd. Commander Masters, which that was a set that happened this year, August 4th. Wilds of Eldraine, September 8th. Doctor Who Commander, October 13th. Lost Caverns of Ixalan, November 17th. And we've got
that is a lot.
Khans of Tarkir Remastered coming to Arena on December 12th.
Wow.
There have been a couple of things, huh?
That is a lot of things.
Overall, how do you feel
That is
about
a
the
lot
year,
of
Jake?
things.
Positive, negative?
Well, you know, it's easy, kind of, in my opinion, to bounce back after 30th anniversary edition.
Yeah, like if
As
the
long as
only
you don't
direction
do
is
that.
up, you're gonna go up.
You just don't do that, and you're in a really good spot, right?
Right.
Just don't do it. Fun year, a lot of good stuff. Some of my favorite parts of the year were the couple of events that we went to, which were very fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good time there. I like a set within a set that's very good. So I really like Wilds of Eldraine, just because we got a lot of good reprints of a lot of very good playable enchants, like we just talked about.
Sort of falls into that same
So that
category
for
for me as like Brothers War, where I just by default love the set because of all the cool reprints in it.
Yep.
In a special treatment too. It's not just about like, because look at Commander Masters, right? Commander Masters was just reprints, and I'm kind of neutral on that set. It happened. I feel like it's so wild because if that set had come out 4 years ago, it would have been one of the all-time sets, bangers top to bottom.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
we're just so deep in reprint city now. Feels tough to even get hyped on a set that is all just reprints. Some special treatments, but not like a thematic overarching thing like Wilds of Eldraine's Enchanting Tales or retro artifacts from Brothers War, you know?
Right. For Ravnica Remastered, for me, I'm just like, okay, this is cool. I don't really need any of the cards.
Shocks.
Without
I'll
even
load
looking
up
at
on
it.
Shocks.
Yeah, loading on Shocks while they're cheap is really good.
Yeah.
I do like that. I'm excited to see the set. I'm sure that there's going to be some really spicy versions of cards that I already have where I'm like, ooh, you know, that would be a nice upgrade.
Right.
Because it's all going to be retro frame stuff. So for you, I know you have a deck that's
I'm super pumped,
got
dude.
like a retro kind of vibe already, and it only wants retro stuff. So every time a new retro thing comes out, you see if there's something on your list that you can, that one, the Urza deck.
Yeah, boy. All retro
So,
frames in this one.
I really like this.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Chat, if you want to call in to the show tonight, make sure you are in this room with us in Discord. It's the JAJAM call-in show. It's in Phyrexian Arena. It's in our Discord. If you're not in the Discord, type !Discord and you'll get a link posted right there in chat. There's a button down here at the bottom that you can click that says request to speak, and that puts you into a queue, and you can see over here on the left where you're at in that queue. So we want to hear from you tonight. Jake, final thoughts before we open it up. Give the floor to the groups.
What was your worst?
I would say for me, best was MagicCon Vegas. It's hard not to look at what in my eyes is the best Magic convention that we've ever been to. And I'm saying that, like, if it was shit, I would have said it was shit. It doesn't matter. Wizards did invite us this year, but we got badges, right? They weren't asking us to shill anything. It was just like, here's some badges, you know, come here and do your thing. We made some fun videos with the community. It was more of a show. It was more of like a spectacle than I've ever seen before with Magic the Gathering. And you and I have been to Comic-Con. You and I have been to, what is the big game? E3. We've been to like these top tier, full spectacle showcase events. And a GP's never been anything like that. It's almost a completely separate thing. But Magic has been wanting to bring their events more into that space. I think it's probably why we only have 3 next year. Because if you're going to spend all this money and effort and time, let's make them feel special. Let's not just make them, oh, they're everywhere. Let's make it an event. It's like if you're going to a MagicCon this year, you got to go to Vegas. You got to go to Amsterdam, or you got to go to Chicago in the beginning of the year. That's it. Those are your choices. Past that, it's these third-party events that are fully popping up, which you kind of touched on talking about MTG Summit. Loved MTG Summit. It was,
yeah, that was a great time.
Completely different feel, not the same kind of convention at all. It's not, there's a giant Shivan dragon hanging from the ceiling, you know, blowing smoke and making dragon noises as soon as you walk on the floor, right? This was like, yo, you want to buy some cards or you want to play some cards? That's what we're doing here. There's also a carnival. We did go to a carnival.
And there's also a ton of artists. There were a lot of artists there doing signatures and
really
stuff like that.
Part of that one was getting all the
It was
artist signatures.
That was a really good time. I think, yeah, I'm trying to think other than that, like any specific sets. Let me see here really quick.
Let's get some community input. You and I can, as we think of things, we can.
Yeah.
Silent
I really
E,
like Brothers War as well. Brothers War was really good.
That was end of last year, but yeah, we wouldn't have.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was end of 2022. My
Right.
bad.
All good. All
So
good.
Phyrexia, all will be one. Kick things off. Got it.
Silent E, I invited you in. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey guys,
What's your best and worst of this year?
doing great. Best of this year is definitely you guys.
Haha, thank you. Silent E, your check's in the mail. We appreciate that. Great way to start.
No, the show's always great, but for real, I'll start with the worst one because I think this one stands out head and shoulders above the rest. The worst one is the March of the Machine Amonkhet border that they tried to do, but they didn't do the text right at all, and they just straight up botched the whole thing. They for some reason decided they wanted to botch that one.
That was in the
Emoji.
What were the what were those cards called in the Across the Multiverse? What was that?
Multiversal Legends?
Yeah, Multiversal Legends.
Yeah.
Some of them came out dope. Some of them came out like a Modi. Y'all won't be able to see it here. Actually, I think I can share screen here if y'all want to watch this. Whatever. Chat will be able to see this, but I've got the Multiversal Legends pulled up here, and I'm going to scroll down until we hit one that hurts our eyes. Oh, got it. Here it is. Yeah, it's like they heard the feedback of, I can't read the text. And so they changed the text to Bellerin and then whatever the text box is. Somebody corrected me the other day. I forgot to memorize it. That the text in the text box is a different font. But yeah, it just, something is dissonant about it, right?
Yeah, they could have really gone any way with it. They could have made it more the whole thing a different border even, but they just decided to redo it and make the text really weird as well. Yeah,
it bums me out.
I think the best one for me is going to be the Lord of the Rings set. I did the draft, and I thought that was really fun, just playing with all the Lord of the Rings characters and everything like that. I thought it was a really fun set, obviously really powerful too, so I'm sure people will disagree with me on that one, but I liked it.
No, I think generally Jake and I at the very least agree with you on this. It's it was a home run of a set for many, many reasons. Having a Universes Beyond set like that, whose entire backdrop is the insanity of the collectability of one of one card, and then having serialized pushed out past that, having a ton of versions of these cards so that there are hot shit versions to collect and there are base copies for people to just have and play. I think that this was, and I've said this in reviews of that set before, but I think that this was really a signal from WotC to other major brands of, look what we can do. Look how we can get people talking about your thing. And they knocked it out of the park. I agree with you, Silent E. The set was dope. I drafted the absolute shit out of it on Arena.
We loved it.
Yeah.
I love drafting that with you, man. I had a great time. We did the black red amass at least 2 or 3 times, and just going for that trebuchet kind of.
Oh, dude, I forgot the trebuchet.
Yeah, that was a sick combo.
Yes,
yeah,
dude,
man.
Trebuchet
yeah,
deck.
dude. I mean, that was an excellent time, and we did that multiple times. We would be drafting, and Joel would be like, "Are we really gonna do red black again?
Force a mass again."
We're just gonna force a mass. We had that one deck that was just fantastic, dude, where we got in with the rock, just like barely scraped by. That was a really fun moment.
Well, if you guys like that set, I'm calling it right now. You're here first. They're going to do the Hobbit. They're going to do the Hobbit.
As a follow-up set, you think they'll do the Hobbit?
Yeah. Tales of Middle-earth, the Hobbit.
That is an interesting call. People would know that one way more than they would know Tales of Middle-earth, the Silmarillion.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think anybody's lining up to play that one. Everybody's like, no, we're good on this one. Thank you.
I don't know what that is.
There's a one of one Silmarillion. It's like, nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what it is. Yo, Silent E, we definitely appreciate you calling in. Thanks
for having me on.
Hey, next up, we got A. The name is hidden here. A, you there? Can you hear us?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you guys.
Hey, what do we call you?
Accountant.
Accountant. I've got streamer mode on. Discord automatically does streamer mode when I turn on Streamlabs, so it's hiding your name. Accountant. Cool. What is your best of MTG or worst of MTG in this year?
So, for me, they are two different experiences. The best one was I went to this like DIY, which is like do it yourself, like music festival for like folk punk.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-day festival, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And day one, I brought a Dan deck and was just like kind of playing it out in the lot. And I had a bunch of people come over and play with. And then eventually we decided, one of the guys was like, I'm going to go buy a draft box. And then he did. And then for the rest of the weekend, it was very much like Duelist Island at the festival where like if you drafted, then like people would be like, hey, you ready for a draft? Or like play a game in between sets, right? Like you're like, I can
so
miss
you're
this
at this
set, but,
music
like,
festival and there's just a cadre of people who are like, yo, you want to go get some MTG in?
Yeah, literally. Well, it's because like the entire fucking festival, it's a small festival, but it's like all the music's out of a fucking garage,
right?
And so we're just sitting out there, so you can listen to it all while you're just like fucking playing Magic on like a fucking bench.
That is hilarious, man. That's an awesome experience for sure.
Oh,
that's pretty sweet.
One of the funniest things is we were like, fuck, what do we do for counters? Because we were doing like new Phyrexia, so we had like poison and oil and shit. So I just like ran around and grabbed like 6 fucking cigarette butts, and those were our fucking oil counters.
True music festival out of a garage style, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's funny. Tell us that you were using Dragon Shields.
I was going to say next time, dude, you beat me to the joke. Next time you're there, let us know. We'll send you some DSs, man.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, the funniest bit about it, like, we should have used Dragon Shields for like, making sure our cards didn't get damaged or whatever.
Sure.
No one was using slaves. It was just fucking old school, fucking play on concrete, scratching your fucking basic lands and scratching the fuck out of your uncommons.
Sometimes that's the vibe. So you've had an excellent experience for your best of. What was your worst of then?
So worst of was Magic 30 for me.
Magic 30, like the...
Or not Magic 30, Magic Con, sorry.
Oh, so my best was your worst?
It was.
Tell me about your experience.
So I was planning on going with a bunch of friends, and we're all gonna, like we went to the year before, right? And that was super fun. We got a lot of games in, blah, blah, blah. It was all a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
So this year I was like, all right, sweet. So I'm going to go with the same group of people. And so when I flew last time for MagicCon, the year before last, I met this girl on the plane, and she recently divorced, and then we like hit it off on the plane. We got an Uber back to like Fremont Street because she was living off there and like working there. And so the following year, the plan was I'm going to stay with her for like 4 days. Uh-huh. It's going to be nothing but like hanging out with her, having a great time. And then I'm going to go to MagicCon with the boys and we're going to play. Well, the boys fucking fucked up their money and couldn't afford to get flights and hotel.
It's expensive. Right? Vegas is kind of nuts expensive.
No.
So not only did all of them them bail, right? Because none of them like had the bread to go, right? I'm booking flights in the hotel, like to go.
Yeah.
And call her up. Hey, is this still the plan? Is this still the vibe? Like, because she's still down. And then like literally I get the call like, hey, so I know that you just booked all this stuff. I was in an open relationship and we have decided to close the relationship.
Yeah.
And so the girl that I was gonna like hook up with and spend a bunch of time with the whole weekend,
Yeah, got
bailed.
it.
Sure.
All the homies fucking bailed.
Wow.
So you were just on
And I'm just
Vegas Island over there. Did you still go to the convention and try to have fun?
I fucking bailed, to be honest. I was so upset because like all the homies bailed. This like girl that I was trying to hook up with bailed, and I was just like, this fucking blows. And I was like, I just canceled it, tried to get as much refund as I could, and I was
Sure.
able to refund the flights, but not the hotel.
Have you talked to her anymore since then?
Yeah, we've texted a couple of times, and she's since broken up with this guy because he's like a fucking skis bag.
You should be like, yo,
But-
fly me out to Vegas, buy me tickets to the convention. Vegas is there every year. I need a weekend badge or I'm not coming back out.
There's a lot to dig into.
Getting emerald bag or fucking leaving.
Well, we
No.
appreciate that. I wasn't considering like a full Magic, related anecdote as best and worst, but I thought it was a nice break of pace. We do appreciate you.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you for your input, my friend.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I know like
for
a
sure.
little bit of that was like personal stuff, so we appreciate you talking to us about it.
Thanks
Yeah,
very much.
absolutely.
Hey,
Thank
take
you
it
very
easy. We'll talk to you very soon.
too.
Cosmic, you're coming in next. Best and worst of MTG 2023. Did the homies and your lady leave you high and dry? Call into Loveline now. We got to get a radio show, Jake. You think we would be able to handle a
Bro,
radio show?
That was honestly fun. That was a curveball, but at the same time, that was a down to earth story. That's
right.
This sucks,
Dude,
because
I'm always going to be
it was
telling
like
that story about the music show. I love that.
That's really tough, dude, to book all of that and then get hung out to dry. So it's like Magic in that instance. Like you're not even really like upset about the convention at all. It has
Right.
nothing to do with MTG. You're upset about the circumstances surrounding what has ended up happening, which was supposed to be a really fun time, because now you can't even go draft and enjoy it because it's like you're out all of this money and you're not having the experience that you thought you were going to have.
Well,
I mean, that's a bummer, dude.
Yeah, you thought you were going to have a little booty call tied to it too, and suddenly that's not happening anymore.
Yeah,
Zach,
you thinking like you're going to be looking at like a butt.
I was trying to transition from looking at a butt to tell us about your best and worst in MTG. Zach, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, let's
Good.
go.
That was a very entertaining story. I did not mind that.
Yeah, agreed. We've got a little
that was-
technical
that was
difficulty. Cosmic Seeds, you're up next. We'll get you in here before Quantum. You were in line. I'm not sure what happened. We'll try again after Zach here. Zach, best and worst, what you got?
All right. So my best one, I kind of agree with what you guys were talking about earlier. The variant era has given a lot of cooler arts to a lot of otherwise lame cards.
Customizability, baby.
Yep, and a lot of pre-releases and a lot of drafts I've gone to, I've looked at cards that I thought were really cool. Like one of my favorite new ones is Decadent Dragon. Put that one in my Prosper deck because the dragon itself looks pretty cool. But there's more diversity in these cards that are still good, but it's all these new ones that are making them stand out a little bit more, to me at least.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm loving it. It's very Fortnite. And that's fine. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of people using that as a bad word, or like it's just becoming like Fortnite. Okay. So like the most popular video game that exists that just expanded into trying out like 2 new types of video game on their platform.
Did you know this about Fortnite? I just want to say this really quick.
Side tangent about Fortnite time. Let's go.
Really quick side tangent about Fortnite, because one of our friends is a early childhood education, teaches like 5th graders, and he explained to us that there is a huge contingency of children that watch Fortnite and buy and collect the skins but they don't play it. Like they don't even play Fortnite. It's more of like a cultural kind of thing, almost like Minions, where it's like when you think about Minions, it's like it transcends what you think. It's like, oh, it's a movie franchise. No, it's like its own weird like way of life in a way. It's like Minions, it outgrows the movie franchise, and it's like people just like feel like they're a minion, they dress like a minion, that kind of thing. And so in Fortnite, there are kids that don't even play Fortnite that just buy all of those skins to make sure that they have them, but the way they engage with it is they like watch their favorite streamer.
Right.
They don't even attempt to play the game. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take up all
collecting Magic cards to refuse to play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could kind of say like, in a way, there are some big giant YouTubers that are Magic channels that don't play MTG, you know?
Yeah, you could say that. Zach, worst of MTG of 2023. So your best was like variants, just in general, the explosion of variants that we've had this year.
Yeah.
Worst. What are you going to put in the worst category?
All right, this one's going to be a hot take and probably going to have people coming from my head on a pike with this one.
Here we go.
Product fatigue is getting out of hand, in my opinion. I remember growing up and playing a set for a longer stretch of time than four weeks of drafting a set. I looked at the calendar from 2020 and 2019. 4 major products came out that year as like expansion sets. In 2023, we have a lot more once a month almost, and it feels like there's not enough time to fully enjoy a set because there's not pre-release weekend.
Well, we're MTG boomers too, man. It's very like we grew up in MTG when it was 3 set blocks, and so
where
you were on a plane,
one of my best memories,
dude, forever. You're always on that plane.
And then you don't even feel like you're missing anything by the end of it because you've drafted it for like 2 months. Like I remember drafting a shit ton of like we call it Neil Patrick Harris, but New Phyrexia.
Yeah.
Where it was like, dude, I had like 45 Jatexian probes at one point from how much we drafted that set. And at that point, you don't have to like worry about missing anything. There might be like an FTV Legends or some From the Vault set that would come out that would be, you know, a supplemental product. But yeah, man, it's just like,
it's a double-edged sword because you're right, Jake. When we started the channel, I remember having conversations, Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, those sets that were coming out when we started the YouTube channel.
Oh, those were out for a while too.
Yeah, I remember having conversations towards the end of those cycles about, well, we're in that lull right now, right? The formats are all solved. Everybody's built every version of all the commanders because there were only a few coming out per set at that time. And I pulled it up. Y'all can't see it, but I pulled it up here for chat on the stream. I always go back to this post on the subreddit, on the MTG subreddit. It was posted a year ago by user SnooDonkeys5117, and the title is, I did the math, and 57% of all legal commanders have been printed since 2017. So this was a year ago, and it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. It's a fine balancing act, Zach, because I really do remember the times when we were like right before the next set about to come out, hadn't started previews yet. I remember being like, I just wish stuff would come out. And I remember looking through commander options in like I graduated 11, so like 10, so like 2010. I remember looking through commander options and being like, I want to play XYZ commander, either colors or strategy or whatever, and it being like, well, pretty much your only option one is this, and it's kind of a bad choice, right? I remember those days.
Dude, definitely.
I think one of the things that like a lot of people didn't like was one yearly commander release, and now they're doing it every set.
Yeah. And
it takes away the sparkle that the commander series had. Like those hey, we're doing a year And
buy every single
now it's-
one, get one of each, maybe
Right.
2 of each. That doesn't happen anymore. I used to buy all the commander decks. Stop that shit.
Yeah, and
Well,
now
no.
you can't buy all the commander decks because it's 4
Yeah,
or
no,
5
there's
every
no way.
single set every single month.
And it's irresponsible to buy all of them. It's literally like just buying something
never
that
play 'em.
you
I've-
just don't have the time to play all of them.
3 of my 4 Warhammer decks are still in their box on that shelf, still not sold.
Same.
You need
Same.
to take those to at least the next stage of that because
open
they have
them
been
up.
like that for a while.
I'll-
just
I'll
open
open
them
them
and
up
be
and
like,
breathe
3
on
of my Warhammer decks have been opened and not played.
Zach, I gotta tell you, it's a strange dichotomy, your best and your worst, because your best is I love how much printing has happened and there's a ton of variance.
I
But
know
your
it's a little
worst
bit of
is
a
I hate how much printing is happening.
love it.
They need to slow down on these damn sets.
yep.
It's a double-edged sword, and that's why that topic is complicated to talk about, because what is the balance, right? I feel like there's always going to be people who are like, this is too much, this is too little, we could do more. I ignored that set, so I didn't even get affected by this. You know, but we feel you, bro, as people who cover the game. It is like, we need to get that video for Wilds of Eldraine done, because if it's a week late, no one cares anymore.
Wilds of Eldraine's not even standard legal anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll just right. Exactly. So yeah, Zach, we appreciate you coming in. Let's see if we can get Cosmic Seeds in. Have a good night, okay, bud?
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for popping on.
Yeah, I remember having to like come up with topics, Jake. Be like, oh well, we're in between right now, and there's not a pro tour. There's no bannings to happen. You know.
Our early videos are super cringe, but in a beautiful, wholesome way, where it's like
It's a
you
beautiful,
just gotta
wholesome-
leave them.
Yeah.
It had to start somewhere, right? But yeah, you know, like some of the early
We're
stuff
just normal men.
for sure,
we're
dude.
just
Some of those
innocent
early
men.
topics would be like, oh god, what would it be? It'd be like, let's open a single pack and. No, what would it be? It would be like
Somebody would start talking about gourds. It would go on.
Yeah,
I
this
do
isn't
remember
a-
starting our videos
The-
off with like a personal anecdote of something that happened
Yeah.
in the day that had nothing to do
maybe
with
we
MTG.
haven't changed very much. Maybe we haven't. Maybe we are not progressing.
All right,
His
Cosmic,
subscribers,
I'm afraid we're
thankfully,
not.
are going up, but
Yeah, I mean, we keep
We're
talking
in-
about gourds and people keep clicking subscribe.
we're in dire straits.
Jake
we
and
need
Joel
to
are
really
Gord-
like
Jakey Joe, you Gordon
Get it together.
again. Okay, let's
yeah.
Cosmic, I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on. I invited you to speak again, it didn't work. Quantum Mechanic, aka John, we're inviting you to speak.
Hello.
Aloha.
Quantum, what's
Hello.
up, buddy? How you doing? You definitely hold the record this year for most gifted memberships in the community. So claps in chat for Quantum Mechanic,
Thank you.
the membership
Quantum.
gifter, bro. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so.
You just muted. Oh, look, there's a little clap right there.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, here to help.
Absolutely. We appreciate the support. Best and worst of the year. What you got for us?
Ooh, I think my best Magic related thing of the year was definitely Vegas. MagicCon Vegas was.
Yeah. We saw you
whirlwind.
there.
Yes, yeah, we got to play half of a game, 3/4 of a game
Mhm.
of Commander, and that was awesome. But yeah, that it was my first time in Vegas, and I had the most fun.
You were there for a night, 2 nights? You had a quick trip, right?
2 nights.
2
Flew
nights,
in,
dude.
Flew out.
First
Yeah.
time in Vegas, 2 nights. That is gotta
Did
feel
you-
like a whirlwind.
Did you do any non MTG stuff while you were in
Oh
Vegas?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
We went to my girlfriend's a real big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and so we went and saw the RuPaul show that
That's
was
awesome.
there. Yeah, no, it was cool. The
You
whole
got to
show
see
was
them
like a
lip sync for their life.
you definitely you totally it was
You did?
set up like an episode of the show,
Oh, that's awesome.
like a Vegas-ified episode of the show.
Oh, that's sick.
That's hilarious.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Cool.
It was pretty funny.
I love that. Yeah, Vegas
That's good that you
Vegas
got
was
to
dope,
experience
dude.
some of-
That's kind of our
Yeah,
little
Vegas is good.
pilgrimage every year, mine and Jake's.
Yeah,
I'll
we
definitely
have
be doing that
that
again.
set up. We're gonna try to make it a thing where Vegas is something that we do each year. Where it's like we go to whatever magic related event there is and make that kind of like a standard of the channel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that people can plan around in a way.
Well,
What
I'll
about your
definitely be there
worst?
again.
Worst of the year, John.
Like, is it was it worst MTG related things
Yeah.
or just like worst things of the year?
Some people
Worst
are talking about their open
MTG.
relationships. Some people are talking about
Yeah, that was
cards they
wild.
didn't like.
Yeah, it
a
sounds
good
like
one.
you
We're getting good calls tonight.
your hookup stayed with you the whole time in Vegas, so that sounds nice.
Yeah, perfect, right? You didn't get left by anybody. Travis said, and look, this is
Yes.
all in good fun, y'all. We're not making fun of anybody.
No, not at
we're-
all.
This is just community ribbing. I love it. Travis in chat, we skipped this comment, but Travis said, Wizards needs to do a better job of policing open relationships at their events. That's a really funny statement to me. I've never heard those words in that order, and that's very funny order of things to me. Yeah, Quantum, MTG
yeah, give us
related
the
thing
wor-
of the year.
Yeah.
Worst is how much product I bought this year that has remained unopened, which
Oh
is
my God.
something I realized.
You
that,
sound like a
you guys
Magic
mentioned
player.
already. But yeah, the Doctor Who decks. I went to a game night when those came out and cracked open a pair of them. I have all of them, and the other ones have stayed in the box. I've got a deck that I'm trying to build from Wilds of Eldraine. It's that Boros commander that lets you fetch out equipment. It's in pieces. Still haven't actually built it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, I have singles sitting for me at a game store that I still haven't picked up, and it's been like 3 months.
That sounds like my
so
comic
that's the
box in
thing.
college. The comic store owner would get so pissed at me because I would have, we all had boxes at the store and they would just put the things that we're subscribed to in the box so we could come by and grab them. And yeah, it would be like 3-4 months. I'll swing over, grab it.
That's brutal. Yeah, like I don't know what the fix is for that either. Part of it is like, yeah, I don't have enough time personally, I guess, to be playing as much Magic as I
That's
want.
always the give and take with MTG, right? Is playing the game and actually playing the game.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, the product release cycle is also like, it's a lot right now.
Yeah.
And so
I always suggest arena drafts, man. Arena is really good. Don't do quick drafts, do premier drafts. It's still best of 1 matches. You get 4 or 5, you get half your money back, and then once you get up into the 5, 6, 7 range, you're getting a ton of packs and you're fully getting your money back. Plus, it's like a fast way to just engage with the format over and over again. I've really enjoyed drafting Arena for Lost Caverns.
Quantum, I have a similar kind of thing to you, which is like feeling, or at least, speaking for myself in this, it is like sometimes I feel like I need to get certain things because of value or because, it's like a competitive price or this, when really, that for me just comes down to like FOMO and stuff. Do you feel like sometimes you're FOMOing in and like buying things that you think you're going to want versus like actually like ending up playing them, like with the Doctor Who stuff?
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like FOMOing in and being like, well, this is something that's like, I'm going to want this, or it's worth it, or, it's posted at a good price. And then,
Hang on.
Yeah, like
Hang on. I'm going to keep grabbing secret layer envelopes over here that I opened, checked the secret card, and put back in the box and set on the shelf.
well, I do like that those secret layers are at least now small and
I don't have
condensed. And
I don't need a pallet. I don't need a pallet jack to get them around my room.
You don't need a pallet.
Yeah. Quantum, yeah, bro, you got to go back to Vegas for sure. Let us know. I mean,
Cosmic.
there's
Absolutely.
like a 85% chance kind of across the board that we're going to be at whatever the Vegas event is in any given year. So it's just up to us to finalize the details and get out there,
I mean, I had so much fun in that city. I'll go back again. I don't know what it is. Like, it's super commercial and like nothing is special. It feels like But
We got to
I don't
get
know.
you. We
So
got to
much
get
fun.
you 1 6-night stay, and that will be the time where you're like, okay, that is too long in Vegas. Got it.
That's hilarious.
There-
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
At least one time, Q. Thank you
for
very
popping
much,
on.
Travis. You're coming in next. There's been at least one time where I went to Vegas and we planned it to be like a 7-night trip, and we're gonna stay there over. Oh man, after about 3 or 4 nights of Vegas, you're like, what do I do? Walk back down the road? Travis.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. How
Hello.
are you, sir? You sound like a content
it going?
creator with your
I try.
expensive
you know.
microphone coming through.
Yeah, I'm an up-and-coming content creator. I'm trying to figure out how to make content in the Magic space, and so I'm
I've got a few ideas.
happy to be on the stream. You know.
Hey, we're happy to
It
have
was
you
good
here.
to have you.
Y'all, if you're not aware, Travis Gafford is a major creator over in the League of Legends space. If you're interested in the esport of League of Legends or the business of League of Legends, Travis has got your back. Just go search Travis Gafford on YouTube. You'll probably hit him. Travis, best and worst of MTG and or any general things. I know you had some other topics you wanted to talk about.
My worst was in November. I went to an event and met my previously favorite content creators there,
Yeah.
and first off, they were just super clingy, and they followed me around the whole weekend.
Sounds like
And
us.
It was a pretty miserable experience. I left feeling really jaded about never meet your heroes, I guess is what I would say
Right.
to anybody
If
out
you're
there.
referring
Yeah.
to who I think you're referring to, like texting you way too much, started calling you all
Yeah.
the time, just got way too
Yeah.
personal, way too fast.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. That's these two guys. One of them
Oh,
literally
it's
was
two guys.
showed up at my private Magic event last Sunday, and Ed was trying to get games with us. It's kind of unusual. Anyway,
I was not. I didn't mean to knock on the door that much,
yeah.
and I would never.
You were just enthusiastic. I get it.
I was just trying to figure out how the doorbell works,
Yeah.
and I was just like, and then when I texted at the end and I said, "Hey, don't worry about the doorbell. That wasn't even me. That was somebody who walked by." I meant that, and that was true.
Yeah.
Then I said, "Don't worry about checking the cameras because I'm telling the truth."
Yeah, and that wasn't even at the
Yeah.
draft. That was at my personal home that all this happened. Anyway, so I'm gonna derail because you guys are stealing my
Yeah.
format, and so I'm gonna
Oh, no.
ruin.
We
your
are
show.
creatively being inspired by your format.
Well, you
Pretty
gotta let me help you on the camera side of things because I
You
can
love
help
how
you
the
get to-
balance of the
Everybody mocks my usage of Skype, but I could tell you won't have to stream like the Discord thing if you do it that way. Anyway, the way I want to derail is by talking about Ravnica Remastered, which I guess I can say I'm very just fascinated by this product because Dominaria Remastered came out. Everybody was super excited about it. It was priced basically between like a standard set and a master set. I think draft boxes were like 170 or something like that. And then over the course of the year, it cratered and the EV of the boxes cratered. And then now we have Ravnica Remastered coming out. And I feel like it's pretty crazy that Wizards doesn't seem to be promoting it very much. Like they're giving more attention to, I mean, so far they've given more attention to the Murders, yes, thank you. That's coming out after Ravnica Remastered than that. I know they're doing like full previews next week or doing some sort of previews next week.
Right.
But
They're showing us
I'm
the
just
whole
super
set
fascinated
next
to know.
week.
Yeah. And I'm just super fascinated to get an idea of what you guys think is going to happen with this product because I almost kind of wonder if like Wizards has preemptively abandoned it. You know what I mean? Where they're like, okay, this Dominaria Remastered thing, it was too much. We put too much on the table for everybody in 2023, and we saw the results of that. But we already have. It's too late to back out of Ravnica Remastered, and now they're just sort of like slowly rolling this thing forward. Already anticipating that maybe it'll have issues. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts are on it.
Well, let me look up really quick. Time Spiral Remastered release. because it kind of starts back there, March 19th, 2021.
Yeah, I want to
these
correct one
remastered
thing.
sets started.
The draft boosters of Dominaria Remastered, those were typical pricing. Those were like 105, 110. Those boxes were really, really affordable. I think that was one thing that they did, was they wanted it to be a popular set and they stacked reprints in it. But I mean, Force of Will is in that set, right? But they priced it at regular pricing. And it was still
You're saying
under
Dominaria Remastered is?
Dominaria Remastered. Dominaria
When I
Remastered.
look at the 1 year, it shows that it was on TCG Player. It shows it was like 170 or so.
The
in
draft
It
box?
was expensive.
January.
It was expensive when it first came out.
Yeah,
I'm-
and then
I'm-
it tanked.
Yeah, it's you can buy a box of Dominaria Remastered draft boosters on Amazon right now for $89.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how far it's fallen though. But if
Yeah.
you look in January, it was 170. Like
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't even
There was
remember.
actually a
that.
lot of
I
hype
bought
for
some
that,
from my draft group.
I was wrong.
There's a lot of hype. I think the
Force
serialized
of Will.
not being part of it. Yeah, but Force of Will has dropped in price massively
Seriously.
as well. I think with these mastered sets, because there's nothing new to really draw people in, they kind of fall flat. Now, here's how Ravnica Remastered is different: is they have serialized cards. So the question comes in, are people going to go for it because there is a serialized push? When you're opening Time Spiral Remastered or Dominaria Remastered, you know that the best possible thing you can pull is like, okay, if I get the retro foil Force of Will, then that's going to be a nice hit. That's like, I don't even know, like $100 card, maybe even less these days.
Yeah,
Back
these
in the
days,
day,
but opening it would pay for the box.
Yeah, well, opening the foil Force of Will back during EMA, Eternal Masters times, that was $400.
Right.
Getting that foil Force was literally like a huge lottery ticket.
And there was
so,
only one type of booster at that time too. So it was
That's right.
hard odds to hit that kind of stuff.
It was cool because every pack had a foil.
Right.
Like you were like, oh yeah, I'm getting an Eternal Masters pack. Not only does it have good cards, I'm actually getting a foil. I think the this set, Ravnica Remastered, I would say it would just tank like everything else, but because it has serialized cards, that might be enough to prop it up. I don't know.
Prop it up a
collector
little.
boxes, right? But what about draft? Because I feel like when we looked at Dominaria Remastered, like the draft boxes are down. You said 89 right now, Joel? It's like,
$89 you can get it on Amazon.
that's almost 50% down in less than 12 months, right? And so, yeah, I mean, maybe the collectors will get held up by cereal boxes, but I'm like super fascinated about this product. I'm like really curious to see what happens to the draft boxes. I got in on the early Amazon thing before they fixed it, where it was at like 140 or something like that before.
That's what
they
I was going to
adjusted it up.
mention, is that through mistake or on purpose or whatever side of that line you fall on, the boxes got thrown up on Amazon for a price that basically distributors were offering LGSs. And so you had a lot of stores really up in arms and scared of the product, and every store is already scared of sealed product right now, and making sure that they're only going to buy enough to sell through, that they're not sitting on
It does have
anything, they're not
Shocklands.
buying extra to open to sell singles. But yeah, I mean, Jake is right. I think that it's going to hold a little bit more of a premium than Dominaria Remastered, because it's going to have a very playable land cycle that everyone wants for every format that it's legal in. I'm sure that there will be some excellent commander treatments in there as well, because that's going to be one of the things that they do to try and sell the set, plus the retro stuff. But you also got to look at this as the fact is this is the last one of an era. This set represents the end of draft boosters forever, represents the end of the current model.
Yeah.
No more set boosters. This set, from what I'm seeing on the pre-order page, doesn't even have set boosters. So they were like, we got to sunset that one early. We'll do draft and collectors of this one, and then going forward, that's it. No more set. We're just on play. So
What is our current lowest collector price for this product? Let's see here.
on Amazon, they're pre-ordering for $300 the collector booster box, It is a full box of collectors. It's not like the, you know, 4-pack boxes.
Got it.
But the draft booster box is pre-selling for $210. Travis, if you're asking for a price call in and of itself, I would not buy any of this at over $200 right now, just because of where everything has gone recently, especially because Serialized is not going to be in the drafts. And at some point, the shocks are going to go down enough in price where we'll be making, you know, great $4 variants, and we'll be like, all the shocks from Ravnica Remastered.
Well, not financial advice. It might not get that low, but I do think that there is something to be said about this. Comes out just right in the middle of the variant era. You know, it's definitely got an inflated price, in my opinion, from where it's going to shake out.
I wouldn't pre-order over 200, Travis. You getting in at 140, I don't mind that, because you're gonna get plus you're gonna play you're mostly buying those to play, right? Like, you draft with these boxes a lot, so you double up on the experience from how I know you interact with the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited, and I'm fine with my pre-order. I just I think it's such a fascinating thing. To wind down my thoughts, I guess I would say, like, I think it's such a fascinating thing where we have this product that almost feels like dead before release, following months after Commander Masters, which I think was a pretty big flop. And I almost, like, I guess my prediction is, or the vibe I'm predicting is, like, it feels like Wizards is leaving this thing out to dry on its own. So but other than that,
like, well, we already printed it.
Have you guys talked about on stream where you're going to be next week, where I'm going to see you guys?
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it tonight, but DreamHack ATL is next weekend, y'all, and we're all three going to be there playing in some events. We got one of our mods I know is coming out as well, local to Atlanta, going to come hang out. We'll be there. Use our code. It doesn't help us at all, but it gives you percentages off a badge. Exclamation point DreamHack. I don't think I have that set up.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet. And yeah, we are going to hang with Travis. It's going to be a good time. Travis was, I was recently talking with him, and he was like, so is Joel going to be, you know, available? Is he, you know, he's
I was like, how much is he's on father duty, I assume. So I don't know how much he's free in the evenings to go out and get dinner and party and stuff before he has to go back home.
We will, we'll work it out. Working that weekend, man. It's going to be a fun time. And, cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get some stuff going. We got to get you. We'll probably be having a game night at my place with some of our friends, some local friends that Jake hasn't seen in a while too. So I haven't actually looked up where DreamHack is in Atlanta based on where you're staying, but maybe we can get you down for a little game night.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. So, hey, thanks guys so much for having me on. I don't want to steal the stage for too long.
All good, Travis. Thank you for coming through.
Dude, thank you so much for popping in.
We'll see about Ravnica Remastered. We will see. My thoughts, my inclination is that it is all going down. Bad friend Dave, or sorry, Photon Phi inviting you in. Cosmic still, it's not looking like it's letting you in. Sorry about that. We're gonna
Cosmic Seeds. Get in the raw end of the deal here.
We've got trapped in no man's land. We got Photon, then we got Bad Friend Dave, Spectre, Hot Dice, then we got M and D and Matt C. Hey, Matt C, you're gonna be our last of the night there. Just gonna close the queue. Matt C, you will represent the caboose of the train tonight. Photon Phi, though, we're in the middle of the train. Photon, what you got? Best and worst of MTG 2023.
Or just in general. I mean, I financed a new car this year, so that's good.
Nice.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! Congrats.
Dropped to about 18K on it, so I only have about 12 left.
Oh sheesh! What kind of interest rate you get on that thing?
3.4.
3.4. Nice.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Just daily commute. God, I really want worse and bad, best and bad, honestly.
Come on, Photon, you gotta have your answers ready.
I didn't like Doctor Who that much. Too much product. Just we need to stop. I don't like variants, man. too much.
Yeah, it's not a
much
great
stuff.
time for you if you don't like variants. What did you like though? So too much product, too many variants. What did you like about MTG this year?
I would say all the new decks I'm building.
New
Other than
decks you're
that,
building?
so-
What's the top commander you've
Yeah.
built? What's your favorite commander from this year you've built?
Dahada Binder of Wills.
Dahada is a good
Ooh.
deck, I have to say. It's a pretty sweet
I'll
one.
just let you.
Don't
Let you
get me-
handle this interview here
Don't
because
get me wrong, because I run Underworld Breach. I run the Underworld Breach Flicker combo for that deck.
So you
It's-
you get crazy with the
all it
cheese
is.
whiz, huh?
all it is just self mill, and then we just kill with Mayhem Devil as usual. But like, I don't know. I'm just Underworld Breach guy. It's just
Woo! I do love
just how
Dahada
I
though.
do.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a
yeah.
lot of cool new commanders coming out, even though it's too many products and too many variants, right?
Yeah. I mean, Ixalan and Pantlaza are pretty good too.
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to build that too.
I've seen Pantlaza everywhere, bro. Playing Historic Brawl on
Dude,
Arena, I'm running into it every day.
I can't stand it. It's annoying.
You're building it.
I know, but like fighting against it is annoying.
Yeah, I get you, man. Photon.
man, this Dahada, pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
Dahada,
definitely.
I'm just trying to spread the truth of the tentacle into every orifice
Oh,
that will
I
accept
have a
it.
Piru variant that I'm gonna bring you, Joel. I have
Piru?
yeah, that thing that you
Oh.
PIRU.
Yeah. Volatile.
I have a
Lifelink.
variant for you. Yeah, it's the extended art one, and I'm gonna bring it to you as a gift for the deck.
Beautiful.
That's
I will,
pretty.
If you want
you'll
it.
yeah, I'd
I
like
don't
for you
know.
to sign it, and I'll swap it out.
Oh yeah, you want? Sure, I'll sign it for you.
It'll
I'll
be a
put it in
good.
there.
It'll be a good story for that deck too. I can play it and remind myself of the Summit times, and I'll be like, "There's a video of that game if you want to go watch it and pump their channel."
You absolutely destroyed us in that one.
Photon,
Yeah.
I feel like you've that sentiment is shared pretty widely. Too much products, too much
Yeah.
variants. I get you. I'm
It's-
glad
it's
you can find some commanders to build though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong. Although I really do want three black sets, like everybody's been saying.
It would be nice,
I
right?
miss it. I miss it so much.
Yeah, same.
I am gonna hop out. You guys have a good day.
Thank you for
Photon,
popping
good
in.
for swinging through. Bad friend Dave, you're up
Really
next.
quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before Dave here, just want to say, because Cosmic Seeds was doing his best to get in here, best of the year was Post Malone buying the 1/1 ring, and Cosmic also says the worst was Mana Crypt in Lost Caverns. Not
Ah.
exactly a meaningful reprint of Mana Crypt there.
Yeah, I want
In my
Cosmic.
opinion.
Speak more on why the Mana Crypt in Lost Caverns was worse to you. I want to hear more about that. Bad friend Dave, how are you, my
What's up,
friend?
fellas? How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Best and
Good
worst.
evening.
What you got?
Yeah, I want to start with my best.
Yeah.
I think the best for me was probably Universes Beyond. I was skeptical of Universes Beyond, but MTG has the best core frame of a game.
Seriously.
So I'd rather play Lord of the Rings MTG than some garbage Lord of the Ring game
Dude.
that they would try to produce and put out there. So
Well, it wouldn't
breaks
even
the immersion a
happen.
little bit.
That's the problem, right? Is
Yeah.
that it's Jake's point about this every time we talk about Universes Beyond. Not Secret Layer. Stranger Things is not going to support its own card game, but you
Yeah.
can play Stranger Things characters through Universes Beyond. So you get, it's honestly like Fortnite. We get all these different skins of this stuff in the same game, but the platform exists. It's kind of interesting. That's why Fortnite's expansion right now into a racing game and a Minecraft style game all on one platform is really interesting to me, because it's kind of like MTG. We're going to take all of your licenses, we're going to bring them into our system, and then you can play that game in a bunch of different ways. Commander, standard, any of the board game things like
Pretty
Clue,
wild, dude.
Ixalan, right? It's nuts. So yeah, Dave, I'm there with you on that.
I think they've done a great job of designing the cards too. For the most part, there's a couple things, the ring not hurting you, all that stuff, but or the tempting not hurting you. But
Right.
I thought they've done a great job with the design, where it's like you read the card, you're like, that's what that character does. So I'm fine with the picks for breaking the immersion as long as the magic mechanics make sense to the card. And I thought they've nailed
Right.
that
Yep.
all year.
For sure.
Yeah. For the sake of time, my worst, I built a Gix Yawgmoth Praetor deck late last year. I think around like early December. I think Brothers War came out in November.
Yeah.
Super fun deck. If you never built it, 3 black, mono black, pay 7, dump your hand, play cards off your buddy's deck.
Get
Incredible
card draws
deck.
for like attacks, even on your opponent's attacks, as long as they're attacking opponents.
Yeah, all
that
in
sounds
kind of
fun.
deck, super fun. Dump your whole hand, pray for the best off your buddy's deck. Super fun. And then like right after that, my buddy told me he was moving, and that basically moved our play group online. And also just the worst in general. If you lose your homie play group, it's the worst. Having to like find new people to play with. Like you go into an event or a store, it's cool, but like the people you play with, you know, a couple times a month over some beers and some some safety meetings, you know, that's the juice right there. But
you are
so he
singing the
moves.
hymn of the Jake and Joel experience, because we still get to kind of do it. We don't get to play Commander in person over beers at the sports bar like we used to, you know, but we have the channel and that kind of keeps us locked in on it. But yeah, I literally have not found a new Commander group since I left LA. We were in South Georgia. That's where we went to college, and we had our play group there, and we had our play group. We'd meet, you know, once a month, once every 2 months, to play some Commander for a night. And that has not happened as far as I know since I left. And I'm with you, man. It's a bummer.
Ooh.
Yeah. So go to
not
play the
good.
deck on spell table, cast it, get the 7th thing, do the thing one time, and immediately I'm like, I can never play this deck.
This is
Like,
never going to work
it is
over
not
spell
possible
table.
to play over spell table. They're turning their cards upside down, sliding them to the top of the screen to denote that they're on my board, and it's so spell table is great during the pandemic. Probably kept Magic alive, but yeah, when your play group dissolves and spell table, half your decks, you realize pretty quickly, you're like, okay, half these cards don't work in this. It's kind of its
That's
own
so
format.
true.
Yeah,
That's
but
the thing that
hopefully,
bums me out about it.
yeah, gonna get my
About
buddies
spell
to go to an event next year, so hopefully catch you guys at an event, and yeah, so
Yeah,
If you're
course.
there,
gotta-
make sure you
gotta
come
hit
say
home play
hello.
group. If you got the homies that you see a couple times a month, enjoy those times, because the people you meet at the store aren't always the kind of people you want to have over at your house to play. So it's
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
I'm not introducing
yeah, it's like
everybody
You
at the
can swim in
LGS to my
pool,
mom.
You can't come in the house.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's it for me. Y'all have a great new year, and catch you on the other side.
Bad friend Dave,
Thanks
good
for-
to see you.
Thank you for taking your time to be on the show.
Ah, man, yeah, talking about playing in person, man. I think that's why I gravitated toward like events as the thing I liked most this year, because we just got to play in person. Spectre,
What's going on, boys?
speaking of seeing people
Ahoy.
in person, we'll see you not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, Travis kind of stole my win there. I was supposed to blindside you with DreamHack, as we talked about this weekend.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
Travis is a professional, you know.
It's true. That's why they pay him the big bucks.
That's right.
They pay him the big bucks.
Yo, Spec, there is let me side note you for a second. There is a Sunday event that we're interested in. It is 2 full boxes sealed trios.
You had me at I'm interested.
Team trios with a full box of Wilds of Eldraine and a full box of Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and you make 3 decks out of those 2 boxes, and then you play a team trios event.
Oh,
I wonder
I'm
how
super
it.
in.
I wonder how it works. Is it like a?
So I just did a
All three
trios
of us,
event.
or-
I did a trios event on a month ago, I think. But we were playing 3 different formats.
Yeah,
so
that's what trios is typically, is like standard, modern,
Yeah.
legacy, or something like that.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
we did Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But I think
Everybody gets
so
split
the
up,
way-
Jake. You make the 3 decks, and then everybody gets split up and paired up in one-on-ones, and it's all contributing
I
to
see.
your team
Well,
score.
So the last
Hey,
time
that
we did,
sounds
because the companion app is so garbage, they actually only had one person on the team sign up, and we all just kind of sat together and we moved as a group, and we just kind of scored as a
interesting.
team. Yeah. So if 2 people won their matches overall, the other game didn't matter. It was best 2 out of 3 overall for the whole team.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I don't know if that's how they do it. It was a store running it, so you
Yeah.
know, who's to say?
Yeah.
Before I get into best worst stuff, I want to talk a little Ravnica Remastered, because we've had 2 remaster sets. I want to just add some more information out there. So we had Time Spiral. That one came out first, but it was plagued with supply issues. So that one has an artificial price increase just due to supply chain
Wasn't
stuff.
available, right? I remember that.
Right. And then we had the next one, Dominaria, which, as we've seen, has come down significantly. But I would say that if you looked at the set, as Jake, as you said, there wasn't a huge land cycle or anything to kind of tie that together. And I think the difference that Ravnica is going to have is that, it's just shocks. It's an eternal thing that people need 4 of in all the colors. So, I mean, that's the thing DMR did.
Materialized?
Oh, I think it'll help. I think it'll help prop it up a little bit. I don't think it'll do too much. I think the set's still going to drop. They all do. But I don't think it'll come down as far, or at least as quickly as Dominaria, just because people are, despite no marketing, everyone has been championing $5 shock lands for the last, since the set was announced and we knew they were going to be in there.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
it's also going to be interesting to see too. Dominaria Remastered had a pretty big delta between the good cards and the bad cards. There weren't, to my memory, a ton of like $5 hits, especially that are going to retain any value. And
right.
So,
I mean, if you look at Ravnica, like if you just search every set that's ever come out on Ravnica, there's like shock lands.
Right.
Yeah. And Abrupt Decay, maybe.
Well, there's some scarce stuff, and there's some hot shit like Doubling Season. If they're going to give us 3 of those in a row, we'll see.
Maybe a Cyclonic Rift.
Psych Rift will be something.
Rift's already down to 24 or something. It used to be like a $60 card.
Yeah, you just need a lot of good medium hits to really fill out the EV of a set like that, because if you don't have a lot in the middle range, it's feast or famine.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like how Travis was talking about, like he's very interested to see what happens with this set. I think there's a lot of things that make it different from Dominaria Remastered. Like Dominaria Remastered, you can pretty much name everything that's good, and it doesn't have like a land cycle, right?
That's the thing.
So it's like you have Force of Will, you have the tutors that matter, Enlightened, Worldly, Mystical, and Vampiric.
You just need one tutor. It goes everywhere.
Correct.
You don't play that.
That's true. So people that do want like retro shock lands, that want to like pimp their deck, that kind of thing.
Which I don't know if you've met modern players, but do they love an old border shock land, and they'll need 4 for each one of their decks.
Yeah, if you look at my modern mill deck, you'll see like all my polluted deltas are foiled out from Khans of Tarkir. Like I have tons of foils in that deck, and when a new variant comes out for it, I'm like, oh man, I would want to like replace my Shelldock Isles. Or if I didn't have the extended art version of Preordain and foil from Commander Legends, would I get the Secret Layer version? Maybe
you imagine being the legacy player that says, I want lands 1, 2, 3, and 4, like consecutive serialized.
Oh,
foils.
Yeah.
I'm sure that guy exists.
Like, dude, DMR, the problem with this set is it just lacks a land slot. There is no land slot in this.
Yo, because it's like, kind of a banger. I've got it up on the screen right now.
It's got great stuff.
Yeah, Mystical Tutor is $7. I've got it sorted by USD, all variants in the set. So we're talking single cards, but a title of a card might get repeated. So Mystical Tutor is $7, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times 7 is 28.
28.
Top 28 cards. Card 28 is a $7 card. That's not bad. But to your point, Jake, if it had a cycle of 6 to 10 lands in here, suddenly now you're deep into the top 30 cards are all $5 or more.
Yeah.
With the
no
top
one was clamoring
12,
over check lands.
4, 8, 12. The number 12 card is Enlightened Tutor base copy, and it's $17.63. So there are 12 cards in this set that are worth nearly $20 or more, all variants included, with Force of Will representing the top 3. Then the next 3 are Vampiric Tutors, basically. The next 3 are basically Urza's Incubator. The next 2 are Sylvan Library, and then Enlightened Tutor. And so, bro, you get a rare land cycle in there, and suddenly it's going to fill out. Because I promise that, the top of the Ravnica Remastered set could have the potential to look like this if they want to bang it out, but they're going to have to reprint some stuff they've reprinted.
Now, how many Dominaria Remastered cards are like under $2 and are also, you know, a variant.
USD less than or equal to 243 cards. It had a rare land cycle. It was the check lands. We've had the check lands. We've had those a ton. Innistrad, Dominaria Remastered, Tales of Middle-earth Commander, Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander.
Yeah,
it had the check lands. They
yeah,
just,
but no one needs 4 check lands or cares about that, right?
I didn't even know that set had check lands in it.
But yeah, these
it had the enemy check lands. That's right. Enemy checks. Yeah, no, actually I bought retro foils of all of these because I was like, well, this is a good time to pick these up.
I'm actually kind of impressed with the top end of this set and the price right now being under $90 for a box of this.
If you were looking to open something,
not a bad
deal.
I would
put this into consideration.
This is
for sure.
This is like a top 10 ever onboarding products to like Commander MTG.
This is
like if you're looking for a cheap product that's going to get you a bunch of stuff that's playable, this is so the way to go. Especially since it's bottomed out so much.
Fatigue. This is the part of product fatigue that people are sleeping on, is because there's so much of it. People are tired of stuff. So if you've got the patience, you're going to wait 6 months, a year and a half, like whether it's sealed or not. You can get great deals on stuff.
Bro, that's like my MTG mentality has changed so much from when we were originally doing this channel or even just a couple years ago.
Oh, the COVID rush was huge.
Yeah, man. Like I remember during COVID buying like really good like reserve list stuff, and there was like just a huge pump. Like everything was pumping. And
yeah, like my stock portfolio, that tanked too.
Oh my bro, right, exactly. And so yeah, this set for me is just you're absolutely right. Let's just say this: if you can wait 6 months or a year, if you don't have to FOMO in because you're like, I gotta get this variant and I wanna get, you know, the one ring, I want to be the one who gets it, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then yeah, just wait forever. Wait forever until you're like until you
100% forever. Like
yeah, it's like it's Black Friday and for some reason they're doing some sort of like flash sale, and now for some reason this collector box I've been watching that's 160 is now like 120. Then yeah, jump in there.
That will happen. Yeah. That will absolutely happen.
It will happen.
Spectre, we got to keep the night moving. We got a few more people to get to before we turn off the stream. Best and worst, what do you think? Thank you, by the way, for I like the Ravnica remaster discussion is not something that I thought anybody was interested in anymore, but it is an interesting topic still. So I appreciate y'all bringing that up.
Yeah. So worst thing, printing Lord of the Rings into Modern. Don't like it fits fine, but I don't like the precedent of Universal
That's an
Beyond.
Interesting one, right? Because you immediately enter into, well, will Frodo become the best deck kind of thing?
No, because it's going to be Frodo wearing Iron Man come 2025 as the power equipment, and that's going to be the best deck in Modern. And you're going to be like, what the fuck just happened?
Mark Frodo. I'm going to equip Frodo with my Mark 5 Iron Man armor.
Oh, and Pure Steel Paladin moves Cap's shield over for free during combat. So he's
Mjolnir.
Like, did I just get Hammer Time?
Okay,
yeah,
so
the new Hammer Time deck.
When that creature comes into the battlefield, it does become worthy, so it picks up Mjolnir automatically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can only attach it to
everybody is just running the same overpowered equipment in everything, and it's all Captain America's
Hammer
shield.
Time is going to play Thor, and it's going to be ridiculous.
Oh man.
Best thing,
I would say I'm thankful for having a play group that meets every week. That seems to be a rarity.
Y'all just pull out commander decks and go, or do y'all ever mix it up, or how does your play group work?
Every week we play commander unless there's something else we feel like doing. It's pretty rare that we do something else. But we did Plane Chase one time. We drafted a Neo Cube the other time. We did some other stuff. So, we do a White Elephant commander giveaway.
Nice.
You know, at the end of the year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it helps. We're all fraternity brothers and haven't known each other for like a decade, so it's easy in that sense.
Were y'all in a nerd fraternity or a cool one?
Okay, we went to Georgia Tech. Every fraternity is a nerd fraternity. Like I was at a Halloween party just the other day, and the thing that we got on topic was discussing probability paradoxes and doing so that's what I do for fun
in between
apparently.
Shots. Spec, thank you for swinging through, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing you at DreamHack, my man.
You too, man.
We'll talk soon.
Guys.
Hot Dice, you're coming in next. We got to keep everybody on topic. Travis and Spectre have derailed the whole damn thing.
Jenk had a really fun ad and said Ash has pure steel paladin. That is.
Oh yeah, there you go. Ash from Evil Dead.
Ash from Evil Dead moves over
to move Mjolnir and Cap Shield.
Yeah.
Over to 11.
Yeah.
Hot Dice, are you there? Hot Dice, are you there? We're gonna go ahead and call in M just in the interest of time. Hot Dice, feel free to pop in, and I'll mute you if you pop in while we're going. M something. I'm not sure. I've got streamer mode on, so it's got a reduced name. There's Hot Dice. Hot Dice.
Oh, hello, boys. Hello, Jake.
How you doing?
How are you, sir?
Good evening.
Do you know my favorite moment of the year, Jake?
Oh God.
I think you do know.
I do.
Jakey Joe, you playing with your gourd again?
Oh my God. Hot Dice is personally keeping Jakey Joe alive on the channel. I've been asked.
Jake, I'm sorry, bro.
What do you love about it?
I've been asked by my mentors
character.
and my priests and my therapist to stop. Travis asked me to stop. Jake asked me to stop.
No, here's the thing about it. Is like, if you love it, I don't want to yuck your yum, man.
That's right.
If you're in the Jakey Joe, it doesn't actually like hurt me in any way. So I think I have to let it slide. So
for Hot Dice, your best MTG moment of the year is Jakey Joe.
That's the joke one. I had to lead off. You guys kind of inspired me with your last video. But yeah, Jake, sorry, dude. I just smile ear to ear. I'm just one of those guys. Joel, that character.
Man, it's funny, man.
I know. I know you're cool.
You're a terrible person.
I've just made it punchlines in my pre-show raps, you know.
I'm just that guy.
You are a terrible person.
I throw wacky voices every day, so you just caught me with that. So I love it. So anyway, real best and worst. I'm gonna take you on a little journey here. So my worst is early January. We've been kind of touching on it. Dominaria Remastered. I kind of took a big break from the game. I kind of played early on Urza Saga Legacy when I was a young lad, and then kind of came back during like Shadows over Innistrad. So and my boys kind of got me back into it, and they've been playing all the way through, and they always showed me these awesome cards. Like when I saw Urza became a card, I was like, wow, like this game has really done so much. And it was the prized possession of their binders, and just seeing all these cards just tank to nothing. It's just let's feel like the peak of the game piece era, if you know what I mean. And it just kind of crushed me. Like I didn't really want to buy anything early on in the year. So that was kind of my worst for sure, was Dominaria Remastered.
I feel you. And that's going to keep happening. It's honestly going to keep happening.
My worst is... Oh, sorry, Joel. I completely derailed you. You go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I think it's going to keep happening. I hope what I suggested as a possibility last stream or the stream before, that a lot of the reprints, quote unquote, become Universes Beyond reskins, so that we're not like potentially devaluing a lot of the older collector versions of things. I don't know. I think collectability is getting pushed in a different direction with serialized and insert cards. I think those will continue to expand, and we'll see what the new next version of the hyper rare card is, you know, maybe not this coming year, but the next year, 25. I think that's something that they could pair with Marvel, right? Like, you know, the 1/1 Infinity Stones, that's a good meme. But what if it was like, you know, the green, and there's one time stone out there we know of, and it has like an actual slice of emerald on it, like the real gem emerald, you know. And so you start getting into like really intensive. It's got to take a next step at some point, and I would assume Marvel's going to be a really good time to roll that out, because you got to get that hype on Marvel the same way you got on Lord of the Rings. So you got to kind of bump it up. I don't think serialized is going to be enough. So hopefully hot dice, that gets assuaged. But honestly, it's like Jake said. The best time to buy a card is whenever you want it. The second best time is never, and wait for it to crash, and eventually you'll get it for nothing.
True story. Yeah, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom. Like I said, I want to
No,
take you
it's
through
real.
a little bit
It's
of a
reality.
journey as well.
Yeah.
But that was exactly, and I think there is a good balance of doing it right, and you kind of knocked at it right there, making like a Universes Beyond treatment or something, and you pick the right card, and you print the right quantity, right? Dominaria Remastered imploded because they did not pick the right quantity, right?
So
They
much
picked
of it.
scarcity rares, they picked niche cards. Not everyone has an Urza deck, you know what I mean? But everyone has an Urza now laying around, and that's why it's worth pennies. Same with the tutors, my play group, we tutor for goofball crap. We tutor for hidden commanders.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys are kind of the same. So,
yeah.
All those cards, they just kind of sat on a pedestal in your binder anyway, right? For the average. I feel like I'm the average Magic player, so I guess we all feel like that, right? Anyway,
I do not feel like the average Magic player. I engage with this game an unhealthy amount, but we get paid to do it. So that is the excuse for literally being plugged into this freaking game every 12 hours, guys. Honestly, I have to be honest.
Right.
I feel like there's the rare occasions where I'll go a couple days where I didn't need to check something on Twitter, but it's kind of a constant every 24 hours plugged in. What's new, what's coming out, what's getting released, what. So I definitely feel like I engage with it an unhealthy amount, but I've got a good excuse.
It's ruining my life.
Guys, I'm a carpenter. I swing the hammer and I listen to you guys talk about Magic all day. So I'm
hell
almost
yeah.
as immersed, like with just my mental space. But
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure. Yeah, you get kept on board with all of us. I'll tell you, if anybody wants to be a creator, bro, choose a game you love. Choose something you love, because you won't be able to fake it, and you will burn the fuck out. That's my content creation note for the day.
Good tips. Good tip. So anyway, to bring everyone to the light, back to the light, my favorite release is the most recent, Lost Caverns. I think is great. I think that's exactly how you do a reprint. I think like the reprint on Cavern is exactly enough where it'll bounce back. It's in demand. It's any creature deck wants it, right? And F blue mages, so I want one in every single deck I own. So that's I think how you do it. So they can do it. They just got to really hammer down. And I think obviously we touched on it a bunch. The release schedule is the big problem. I think Wizards R&D rocks. They're just under the gun from these suits. I think that's kind of where your perspective on the game and just the thing in general, the business. And I think you have a nice. That's why I kind of call you guys the average Magic player, because you want to have a nice binder, but you want game pieces to be available as well. So I think there can be that nice balance. So I'm hopeful now, honestly. I like having. It's tons of these reprints I'm sniting now. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Bro, I like having cool, expensive cards that are hard to find.
Yeah, he does.
I'm a fan of that.
Isn't that what got us all into it? Was seeing a Black Lotus and being like, my God, like, what is that worth?
Like, I'm not even going to say, like, oh, man, I want every card to be $5. I don't.
Right.
It's just not how I feel. I want there to be cards that are expensive. I want people to be able to play the game. But most of these formats, especially Commander and CEDH, you don't even need the real card. You can proxy that stuff. If you absolutely have to have it, then go buy it, and it's okay if it's expensive. That for me is fine. Like if you need cards for a standard or a modern or a pioneer format, and you have to have like playable cards, then yes buy those cards, and they shouldn't be pricing people out of stuff like that. But if you have like some big splashy,
that's a real card,
expensive commander card,
bro.
Nice.
I want to be able. They print the whole proxy thing. I think is dead at this point because everybody's like kind of on board with it at this. Generally in the community, I think the sentiment has tipped over 50% positive, more than 50% positive toward proxies at this point. But just on the basis of how many commanders they print every single set, brand new commanders, I'm not going to buy every single card and rebuild, go pull them from my other decks, blah, blah, blah. Every time I want to try a new commander, sometimes I just want to get that Office Depot direct print going, cut them out, slide them in.
Crazy now.
Dude, it's just because I want to try a new deck. It's like this one I built for League earlier in the year, Brimaz Blight of Erezkos. Looked cool, felt cool, loved it, but the whole strategy of it revolves around multitudes of board wipes, and that's not really fun to play against. So I learned that, I get the lesson, played it a couple of times, and I can move on from that deck, and I didn't invest any money in it yet. But I'll tell you, when I finally find a deck, look at Dihada, look at Urza Retro, look at my new Elevair deck, which is Ural that's been disintegrated and taken the red out, and now we only play the card that makes all the glitter tokens over and over again. I will then invest in like the best versions, the most pimp versions. I want to really like bling it out when I'm committed to a deck. So yeah, you gotta try stuff, man. I'm big on the proxy thing, big supporter.
You know what I love, man? The hidden tech, the second tier cards. I'll never play a Cyclonic Rift. When I get people with a perplexing test, man, oh, it feels so good. Like what? Like what is that? What is that? Boom. See you later, bro. Tokens? Nah. See you later.
Jakey Joe, are you kicking Hot Dice out again? Hot Dice, thank you very much for jumping in today. We appreciate you, man.
Likewise. Love you guys.
Talk soon.
See ya.
Who's popping in? M.
That would be me. This is Lainey.
Lainey, what's up?
Hi, Lainey.
Yeah, I'm on the same like high Magic the Gathering diet as you guys. So, but my high watermark was actually your coverage of the fireside chat with Blake Rasmussen and Commodore Guff, like fixing his beard. That was so funny and yet like empathetic and informative.
Was that
I loved
this
it.
year? That happened this year?
Like, that was this year.
Commander
Masters.
Oh my god, dude.
Yes. Thank you guys for keeping the vibes high. I love it. The worst.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for reminding me about that video. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. Don't let that die.
4 months ago. That seems like it was a year ago. 4? Oh my god, dude.
Weird.
Lainey, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. The worst, I have to say, is this recurring WotC habit of reprinting chase cards as like the first they do a secret lair, bilk us for all the money, or they do it as like the Surge foil box toppers, ooh la la, and then they do another reprint like less than a year later. It's making me feel like, and it's depressing. It's like Magic is not worth investing more than $5 to $10 in a card because they're just gonna rip the rug out from under us.
Yeah, it's gotten tough as an investment vehicle, kind of top to bottom.
The rug pull, like in my opinion, I think that Cavern getting a reprint like it is right now is telegraphing a much bigger reprint, or not Cavern, excuse me, Mana Crypt.
Mana Crypt, yeah.
I think Mana Crypt right now, that reprint is telegraphing a bigger reprint that is to come. So like anybody buying like that base copy being like, oh, this is going to be my chance to get a cheap Mana Crypt and I'm only going to pay $150 for it, for example. If you just wait a little bit longer, you're probably going to get it much cheaper.
We're not touching 100 with this reprint, are we?
No, definitely not. Definitely not with this. I was looking more at the old school, like the ones you had to have the book in 1995. Like that's the only one that I'm gonna consider getting, just because they can't reprint more of those.
Right. That's where a lot of investor collectors' eyes are going at this point, is stuff that they quote unquote can't reprint. Right. Obviously, they've proven that they can in some way all the time with anything, but you know, that is the original versions, the original stuff that tends to hold prices.
It's hard to jump in to something that came out in 2023.
Yeah,
there's a hurdle for me where I have a difficulty getting into like buying something that came out and immediately thinking that something that just came out is valuable, unless it has that.
How scarce could it be?
Right, exactly. So like, if it has that manufactured scarcity, which is like it's serialized, there are X amount of them. They did this with some cards where the art is different on the serialized thing. I think that should just be par for the course. If like a serialized card does appear, it needs to have art that's different than whatever the other art is in the set.
Oh,
I think that would
spend so much more money if they did that. Oh,
yeah, it would cost
like
them a lot more money because then they'd have,
right.
Yeah, people would have to have that specific art.
That
if
affects
they
their
didn't want to
margins,
proceed,
Jake.
they'd
That
have
makes
to
their
pay it.
margins on the cards.
I know.
Instead of 99% margins, then they would get 98.9% margins, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah. I think there is a lot of people that are still interested in old reserve list stuff and old foils, like the ones that are actually hard to find from the past, especially the true old border stuff.
And especially in nice condition.
Oh, in mint condition, if you can get the difference of like a 7th edition foil pack fresh and just like near mint and lightly played, it's like massively different. If you have clean old foils, those are some of the most desirable cards to collectors.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop out. Thanks, guys.
Lainey, thank you very much.
Thank you for popping in. We
Matt, you're up
appreciate you.
next. Hey, I had said that we're closing the queue after Matt, but I haven't seen anybody quickly join since then. So Logan, Bayrick, you are it. No more after that. And everybody, what you got? Matt, can you hear us?
Loud and clear, boys.
There you are. What's up? Best and worst?
I have to actually go on the tangent she was going about some of the worst. Like, some of this variant era has just been completely overwhelming, and it's been a crazy year. I'm also with you guys. I have decks that are just sitting on the shelf, and I hate for them to be gathering dust, but just haven't gotten around to those commanders yet.
It moves fast.
So,
we
that
move
always
on to
bums
the
me
next
out.
thing fast.
Yep. But I mean, as far as the good part of that, though, is it's just, I've honestly only gotten really into this the past couple of years, and it has been a great, affordable time to jump in. I mean, I have to say, a lot of stuff has hitting the bottom basement on just getting a version of stuff has been great. And after doing a little cleaning, I've even been able to start to get on the whole reserve list bandwagon.
Yeah.
I lucked out a lot with Lord of the Rings. I managed to sell a lot of those foils super early, and I'm upgraded to the point where I just completed my duels this year.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
I'm very stoked about being able to just...
congrats on that. That's a massive achievement.
Sounds like
That's
a
really
best
cool.
of for the year for sure.
Oh, yeah, because it's turning it around. It's like taking the stuff that is not going to hold value and just being like, I don't even have time to double think about this. I'm going to sell this now before I can even worry about this and just sell it on the FOMO train.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to worry about keeping anything but a regular version right now. And then if the nice one is affordable for my deck later, going back and picking it up again later.
Yep. Matt, I appreciate that comment. I really do, because it's kind of interesting, the dichotomy that we're in with the game right now, where people's worst and best are kind of meshing together. And I think that that's very on purpose from WotC. People are talking about too much stuff. It's all going to zero. But at the same time, there's so much stuff and it's all really cheap, right? Like, those thoughts can go hand in hand.
Yeah, you
right
just
now.
have to jump on it as quickly as possible.
Right. Well, what better time to be running out your sets of Lord of the Rings, an entire different IP, Marvel, an entire different IP, quick one-shots of people, pulling in small fan bases, Lara Croft being the most recent one. Having that sort of stuff be accompanying the cheapest that some versions or some cards have ever been in certain versions. I think it's a good thing. Hopefully they're able to recover the collector side of it,
Right.
That's what I want. I want there to be a little bit of collectability. I understand the balance. I understand that, if you're making 20 commander decks a year, most of the white ones are going to have Path to Exile, right? Like, it's just impossible to not reprint stuff if you're going to be just like constantly coming up with new product. You're going to have to reprint the old hits.
For sure.
But yes, cheap cards are great. I like cheap cards as well. There are going to be a new generation of Magic players that just come in and they're like, wait, Path to Exile was an expensive card at one point? And
Soul Ring?
Dude, even two years down, I'm looking at prices and I'm like, that's not a $20 card anymore? Like, what is with this thing?
Yeah, exactly. When I think about Worldly Tutor, $25 comes to mind. When I think about Enlightened Tutor, $40 comes to mind. Like, Vampiric.
Force of Will.
Yeah. You know, Force for me, whenever I think about Force of Will, I'm like, that's at minimum $100 card for a base copy. No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
What's the same thing with No Mercy being so scarce for so long? Now you can get a copy for like $15, I think. And that was 40 to 60 easy.
Probably way less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Matt, we appreciate it.
Just a reminder, you still have that the giveaway to do. Matt, have a good night.
Thanks, Matt.
You too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as I'm inviting Bayrick in, our friend Logan, patron of the channel. If you want to join the Patreon, we're gonna run this giveaway. We're gonna end the night right after Bayrick speaks, and we try one more time with Cosmic. E123, I saw you in. You were fine to comment if you still wanna get in. Yep, there you go. So we got these people. We're gonna run that patron giveaway. As soon as we're over with this, we're giving away 6 $40 gift cards to TCG Player. Any level of the Patreon makes you eligible. Now's your chance to go jump in, see if you can win a gift card tonight. Support the channel a little bit deeper level. Get yourself a signed card at the same time. Bayrick, what you got for us? Best and worst.
Good evening.
I think my worst would be the level of the Universes Beyond that they're starting to print.
Why don't you like Universes Beyond?
No, I love Universes Beyond, but I loved it when it was like one set a year. Just a little bit of a, hey, we're going to include a little bit. Like Lord of the Rings, they released the original set, and then they released the special edition set, and then they released the Doctor Who set. And so they're basically
Lara
flooding
Croft's
us
Secret
with
Lair. You got one-offs here and there.
As Universes Beyond, like you said, there are a bunch of reskins, and my problem with that is, I mean, it's the same thing. They're just reprinting like they are with like a Dominaria Remastered.
Right.
And I love Universes Beyond, but now they've turned it into, it's not special anymore, right?
Everything is special. Nothing is special. It's kind of how it rolls out there. And you're seeing, like Heroic Intervention. Heroic Intervention got a Doctor Who reprint, and there were a couple of versions in there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely for me the worst, because you've seen The Walking Dead, and that was like this big deal. And as a Walking Dead fan, that was awesome to me. And then you had the Warhammer, and I played Warhammer for about a year back in the day. It was cool to me, like, oh wow, they found a way to put these in a Magic card and make them, well, mechanically unique,
flavorfully, and mechanically unique, right?
And they did the same thing with Doctor Who, but then like a lot of the other ones, it's like they have no uniqueness. They're not flavorful. It's just like, hey, let's slap a picture on a card and call it Lara Croft.
You a fan of Marvel? You looking forward to that one?
I love Marvel, and I'm super skeptical. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, same. I'm really interested in how they do it. It's not Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's Marvel, so I'm assuming it's all going to sit on the comics. But a large part of that audience is like MCU only, doesn't read the comics at all. So it's kind of 6 in one, half dozen the other. We'll see though. Marvel Snap has been very successful. It's a good game, and that helps a lot. But the IP being on top of that, it's not MCU, it's all Marvel Comics, and people are really, really enjoying it. So we'll see how it all falls out.
And I've been involved with both, so I love the comics and I love the Marvel universe. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one. I'm super nervous about that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, and the best, I'm going with the whole. I mean, I get we want cards that are special and that have value, and I'm one of those same people. I shared a picture, I think it was yesterday. I finally got my Lost Caverns collector box and got a yellow Mana Crypt.
That's awesome.
So I was like,
oh, very nice.
So I'm like, oh my god, I got one. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Rats.
And do I believe that's going to stay a $300, $230, $300 card? Probably not. Right.
Which one did you get?
The yellow one.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And I got the foil normal version with the yellow one.
17B. So Jake, if you're keeping up with the collector numbers.
They were in the same pack?
Not the same pack, but the same box.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That's a great box. You got the box.
Market price on that yellow Mana Crypt's $238 right now, so hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that's already That's already trending down from like the 400 range when that was first getting opened. So, you know, there's only so many of these you can put into the universe before, you know, especially when they're not serialized. Now, I know a lot of people, because I was very, especially about Mana Crypt, I was very like, you know, I don't think any of these should outshine the one from Kaladesh. And someone did leave a really good, thoughtful comment, a long comment, talking about how, you know, there are less of the multicolored Mana Crypt from Lost Caverns of Ixalan than there are the Masterpiece version from Kaladesh.
Right.
And, you know, that may be true. And so while I think that, you know, this thing that was extremely difficult to find in Kaladesh should always be the Supreme Mana Crypt, the scarcity that comes from Wizards of the Coast just specifically printing far less could make it to where, you know, the Kaladesh version is not the premier version of Mana Crypt in the long run. And that's fair. And that's just part of the process.
I mean, but it is shocking, right? Because it
is
was
shocking.
Such an iconic, such a hard pull. And
oh, yeah.
I mean, and you think about it, I can pull a Mana Crypt out of Lost Caverns of Ixalan out of the set pack, and, you know, I could get, you know, a Mana Crypt. So, I mean, that's not as rare. But, I mean, a lot of the reprint, I think it's good. I mean, I sold a bunch of stuff from the Lord of the Rings, just like Matt did. I bought me a tropical island, so I, you know, finally owned my first dual land ever.
Very nice.
Nice.
You know?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
you got one with blue. That's the way to go.
Well, I have a Kennen CEDH deck, so I had to have it.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Oh,
even better.
So yeah, like the reprints, I love them, but I'm with them on the train. You know, it's like, hey, we're going to put Grand Abolisher in a Secret Lair, and then I'm going to put Grand Abolisher again in the next set.
It's that Judge promo problem too, right? It's we're gonna give Judge Academy a dope promo, something like new, you know, Cool Arts Smothering Tithe, and then within 6 months we're gonna also reprint Smothering Tithe 800 times.
3 times. Yeah, I had no Smothering Tithes before this year because I just don't play that card like ever, and now I have 18 copies I've pulled and I've sold 10.
Right. Exactly. No, I feel you, Barrick. I definitely feel you, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Hey, have a good one.
Have a good night.
Cosmic, we're gonna try it one more time. E123, we're also gonna invite you at the simultaneous. E123 got in. Cosmic, I'm not seeing you. E123, let's do it. Best and worst of the year in MTG. Can you hear us okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Best and worst, what you got?
Best and worst. I think for me, the best thing about MTG this year is the mechanically unique commanders. I think this year has a lot of interesting commanders that came out, especially for like the LOTR and the Doctor Who sets.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they did a good job of even creating some legends that were characters we already knew, but new versions of them as a commander, you know, and really mixing it up, not you know, just printing another Boros equipment commander and putting draw a card on it, you know, having some interesting builds.
To mind,
right,
for example.
Yeah, exactly. A Legends Matter deck, but we're gonna approach it in a different way, in a mechanically unique way that's fun to play. Yeah, E123. I gotta agree with you on that one. I like that one.
Yeah, like I especially like Sauron from Lord of the Rings. I also like the I think it was the 10th Doctor. Those two are really good, I think.
Yeah.
For me, my favorite commander this year was the Ancient one from Ixalan, but that's more biased because I like Mil.
That's a good one though.
Let me look this one up. The Ancient one. Oh yes, dude, this one is very strong.
Yeah, super fun. What about worst? I like that best. What about worst?
All right, the worst for me would be I think it's the art for the Lord of the Rings special collector boosters. You know, the ones like the 80s looking poster. Like
Crazy.
I like the art. The problem is it's unreadable, sadly. Like the Sauron card, I cannot read it whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, the unreadable
So, like-
cards are very, very polarizing. You know, it goes back to textless promos. I remember.
I will be in next.
Oh, there you are.
Oh.
Here, I'm gonna mute you for just a second. You can stay in the call though. Yeah, it goes back to textless promos back in the day. I remember people getting all bent out of shape about those when those originally popped on, because it's like I don't even know what it does now. And so yeah, those I've seen a lot of polarized opinions, either love it or hate it on those 80 posters. So I feel you on that.
Dude, this
All right.
ancient one, I think I want to build the ancient one now that I'm reading it. This is like right up my alley, and I was just thinking, I was like, what is a good blue-black commander that could work for Mill? And this might be it. I'm interested in it.
E123, you got a list you can share with Jake? You just inspired his next commander build.
This
For
could be a
me,
fun one.
I haven't built the ancient one yet. I'm planning on it, but
Gotcha.
for me, I put it in my next deck.
I see you.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Okay,
Though,
cool.
like, I think a good place to start trading grounds.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Training
yeah.
grounds for sure. 100%. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna order one of these and start building it. This
Hell
looks
yeah.
fun.
E123,
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming through. You gave Jake his next commander. That's dope.
All right. Thank
Thanks
you
very much. Have a good night. Cosmic Seeds, I'm going to unmute you. Can you hear us, Cosmic?
You know I can.
Holy
Yes.
moly, we figured it out. All right, you're wrapping us up tonight. And then we're going to do, everybody, we're going to do the Patreon giveaway. So if you're going to jump on the Patreon, now is the time. I'm going to run the list right now. Add anybody who jumps in. Hit us with it. Cosmic, what you got? Best and worst.
Best of the year. Definitely meeting you guys, going to MagicCon, meeting Dual Brain again, and definitely this time, you guys, we're gonna actually play and do the whole thing this year in 2024. Sorry, coming year.
We'll definitely
worst,
make more time to play.
Yeah, definitely. I say the worst, actually, the weird masterpiece reprints. You really can't read the names on almost any of the kind of reprints. And if so, it's not like a spectacular type of card. They're worth pennies, like the Strixhaven magical blah blah blahs, because they're not even worth pennies either. People can't even give them away.
Yeah.
These
A
reprints.
lot of the
All the math reprints are cool for some people, but the art and the actual quality on the reprints are also.
They've done
It's not good.
a crazy push on reprints here recently, and it's definitely for some people and not for some people.
As you know, too, I like to have my cards be worth something. As you know, I have 7th edition foils and other cards that I have obtained that are actually valuable. Why would I want them to be game pieces at $10?
Well, yeah, and you would hope with your 7th edition foils that they're able to avoid that, right? You would hope with but I'm sure, if you're someone like me who monitors the price of your cards, I'm sure you've noticed that a lot of your stuff has trended down. Yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's part of the experience of collecting something and essentially diamond handsing it. Like, you live through the good and the bad of that. It's like, as long as those cards, if you're not selling them, then I would say don't really think about the price and just trust that in the future it's going to go up. I have been bearish on collectability of MTG cards since Magic 30th Anniversary Edition. I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake that bearishness, to be completely honest. There is just something about that product that rubbed me the wrong way in such a profound way that it's changed how I collect and engage with MTG. I still love the game. I still love the community, the way that it brings people together, but it's made me just like want to sell stuff. It's not like it's just like I'm
engage it differently now too. Good point.
Yeah, and I don't think it's bad to be like, man, you know what? Maybe I should turn some of this massive collection of cards into actual cash.
Right, exactly.
Instead of letting it just sit, And so, yeah, I mean, there's definitely things, hindsight is 2020. You can just look and be like, man, I should have bought frickin' Tesla when it was $13 a share. And the same is true with
the same thing.
Yeah, and the same is true with Magic the Gathering, right? So it's like, you could be like, man, I should have sold the SRAMs at 8. I should have got out of the Oath of Nissas at 10. Why did I buy the Damping Spheres at 35 cents if I wasn't going to sell the Damping Spheres at $4 a card before it got reprinted into Oblivion? And so, yeah, you know, learn from it. That's what I would say, is like, learn from this and figure out, how do you engage with it if you're still going to be an MTG collector? What do you want to focus on? You know, we had a couple people on the show tonight talk about buying dual lands. I think that's always a great spot to park cash. I know people don't want to hear about the stock market or crypto or anything, but for example, Bitcoin has surged almost $18,000 in the past 3 months. Bitcoin has gone up from around 25,000, and now it's like at around 42 or something like that. And so there is like I don't know if that means money is going to be coming back into collectibles, but we are seeing like indicators that make me think, you know, is now the time to be buying those cheap reserve list cards? Is now the time, like before things start trending back up? Maybe so. Not financial advice. I don't know. I still think, you know, buying dual lands for cheap, you know, around an all-time low isn't going to be a negative, you know, that kind of thing.
For sure. Cosmic, we definitely appreciate it, bro. Glad we were able to get you on.
Indeed. Have an awesome night.
We appreciate you very much. Thank you for stopping in.
Let's run a little giveaway. What do you say? Let's run this
giveaway.
Patreon giveaway. I've got everybody's names. You should be able to see it here on screen. Let me double check.
I'll just spend tomorrow. I have Foil Quest tomorrow, everybody. I'm going to let you know. It's going to be the last 2 boxes. We still have not hit a mythic foil in these 6 boxes yet. We could hit the Amano, and someone's going home with like a $2,500, depending on the condition, $3,000 plus card, which would be really sweet. But yeah, we'll run this giveaway. I'll catch up on shipping stuff tomorrow and make sure that everybody gets their cards.
6 of these. We're going to randomize a certain number of times that Jake rolls on a die, and then the next 6... Well, no, we'll do top and bottom 3 times. That's what we'll do. So, Jake, if you roll a D6 for me.
I don't even have a D6.
Don't have anything around me here. I can roll a D6.
Let's do it.
It's a 5. All right, so I'm going to randomize this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the next one, top and bottom, are our first 2 winners of some $40 TCG Player gift cards. And we're going to do the next one, the one after that, and the one after that, top and bottom. You ready, Jake? Obviously, this will be on the replay as well.
Yeah, so I can just go in and get their names from there.
Here we go.
Okay, that's fine.
First winners, John O'Brien and Annihilator. Those are our first 2 winners. Our next 2 winners are Chris Deester. I'm going to say Deester or Deister. Chris D. and Mal Masterson. Congratulations. And we got 2 more winners. Going to win $40 gift cards to TCG Player. Paul Latta and Dustin Brown. So those are our winners for the 6 $40 gift cards. Mods, like we did last year, let us know where you want a gift card to. We got a Christmas bonus for the mods coming through. We'll talk to y'all about that in mod chat. Just want to let y'all know y'all are very appreciated.
That's right.
Mods, y'all absolutely help us keep this thing afloat and running, so we do appreciate y'all. Hopefully a little token of our appreciation will help you know that you're appreciated here. Everybody, congratulations if you want a gift card tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me and Jake tonight. A little bit of a longer show this evening, but I think this will do us for the last stream with us together for this year. So we appreciate everybody. 2023 has been awesome. Love you all. Mean it. Lots of new videos going to be posted between now and when we officially are back. Jump on the Discord and talk to us, and we'll let you kind of know what our schedule is going to be for the next few weeks of when we're going to be live, if we're going to be live, and when videos are going to be posting. So we appreciate everybody. Jake, anything left to say for this evening?
That's it. You did all the stuff. You said all the stuff. That's it. Now all it is time to close this thing down, and you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Thanks to all the
That's what they
sponsors.
say.
We definitely appreciate y'all as well.
Shutting it down.
Card Conduit,
Shutting it down.
TCG Player, Dragon Shield, and Moxfield. Y'all go shop there if you're buying stuff, and use our links if you're doing it. Love you,
You can
mean
find
it.
links to all that stuff in the description of the video.
Love you, mean it. Catch you later. Bye.